Stand up. New York Giant fans, how's everybody doing out there? Hopefully everybody's enjoying your weekend. I don't know what it's like where you are. Where I am, it's nice weather. Went out, walked the dog for a bit. Super excited to be talking to you guys. A lot of you guys wanted me to go live again. Obviously, there's rumors now going around with Adoree Jackson. I'll be able to go live until about 5, maybe 5:15. That's pushing. I got plans at 6. Not going to be able to call the Knicks game tonight. It's going to be like the only Knicks game I miss all year, but not able to do it today. But I'll definitely be back on the Knicks grind next time out. But I wanted to come on, talk about free agency with you guys. Obviously, big news yesterday with Kenny Golladay. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the whole free agency class. But I think Dave Gettleman, and I saw this trending around Twitter like a couple of months ago. I don't want to take credit for it. I'm going to call him Ghetto God for this free agency period if he lands Adoree Jackson. Like, are you kidding me? How in the world, before free agency started, could you have expected us to be able to land Adoree Jackson, Kenny Golladay, Kyle Rudolph, fill in all the other holes that we were able to fill in, and construct the salary cap in a way that it's not going to do long-term damage and fit all of these players from within this condensed budget? I love what the New York Giants have done this free agency period, whether we get them or whether we don't. This would just be the icing on the cake. And there's rumors out there about Jadeveon Clowney, so on and so forth. I've been outspoken that I think the New York Giants need to strengthen up this cornerback position. I've been talking about it since like week 11. I got sick and tired of seeing Isaac Yiadom. I got sick and tired of seeing the opposite guy across from James Bradbury. I know in this defense you need strong corner play if you want to send the dogs. If you want to send the blitz, you got to be able to cover. You get a guy like this defense is going to be scary going into next year. But we'll see what happens. MD, man, thank you so much, man. Stand up, new member. Welcome to the squad, my man. I appreciate it. And let's get to a couple of these. Stephen Lilly from across the pond says, "Oh, plans, which no plumbers. Going to my friend's house. We're having a barbecue. We're actually going to watch an outdoor movie. No plumbers, I promise you." And the day, man, thank you very much. You see Jordan Schultz's tweet about 40. Yeah, basically, and we'll pull up some tweets as it maybe starts to fill in and more and more news comes out. But basically, before I went live, a number of people have said that it looks like Adoree Jackson very well may be a New York Giant. But, hey, man, we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out, man. But thank you very much, my man. And Jack Dalton, man, he says, Adoree's agent commented under a Catch the Blitz post about his rumor with the Giants. Just wait on JT. We'll see. I mean, the New York Giants, from what I've heard and read, they've got about, I want to say we got about $6 million in cap space right now after everything. And you saw they organized this cap space to be able to give themselves some wiggle room in this free agency period. And we'll see if we can get them for that. Will it be a one-year deal? Will it be a multi-year deal? You get Adoree Jackson. I mean, New York Giants fans they're gonna knock the door off. They're gonna knock the door off. But McCann, man, thank you very much. Chad Forbes don't like the trade, saying we overpaid for Golladay. Yeah, Chad Forbes is also a guy that hates everything the New York Giants do. I read a couple of other things he said before free agency. Chad Forbes. Okay, I read what Chad Forbes said, McCann. Chad Forbes said that the New York Giants should have spent more on a backup quarterback to get a guy that could come in here and take Daniel Jones's job. So that's what you want to do in a year where Daniel Jones, you're trying to assess whether or not he's going to be your future quarterback. You want to spend $5 or $6 or $7 million on a backup quarterback so you can't get pieces to find out whether or not Daniel Jones is your quarterback? Chad Forbes doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. That's my opinion on Chad Forbes. But thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. And Max, man, thank you very much. Stand up, new member. Welcome to the channel, Max, man. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you to everybody for being here. And Justin Martinez, man, thank you very much. What's going on there? Lolly, thanks for popping in. Justin says, at MYGPD on Twitter, wants us to punish the Eagles for tanking. Let's steal Adoree Jackson from them. That's right, Justin, man. Let's go, my man. Let's steal, man. Now, let's say hello to a couple of people in the chat, man. Thank you guys for being here. Seth Morales, JCS in the chat, Pluto in the chat, Word in the chat, Merpu in the chat, Lolly, Austin Prograno in the chat, X-Man in the chat, AJ Marshall. Thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you. What's up there, Anthony, man? Thanks for popping. Oh, John, man, John, you're the freaking man, dude. Let me pull that up real quick, man. John is an Eagles fan, so I'm sorry, John. We're going to have to take Adoree Jackson from you. Been a long-time supporter of my channel. Always pops in the streams. I'm blown away. John, man, thank you, man, for the incredible generosity, man. I really appreciate it, man. So stand up, the entertainer. You're the man, my friend. Did you see the Eagles jersey? I did. I figured it was you. I think he said he thought it was you in the video. I figured it was you. I got the Eagles jersey. I got Bad Dog. Would you like an Eagles jersey, my friend, a Deshaun Jackson jersey, perhaps, or Bryce Harper or Joel Embiid. Be careful. Remember when the Eagles thought they had a super team? I appreciate the offer, John. I really do. You're a great supporter. I appreciate the incredible generosity. If you got me, I'm going to be honest with you, John, and I love you, John. If you sent me a Deshaun Jackson jersey, I would not have to buy toilet paper for a month. That's what I would use it for. I wouldn't have to buy toilet paper. I would cut it up and I'd use it as toilet paper for about a month. It would get me by. It would save me on bills. So I appreciate it, but please don't send me it. Michael, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Adoree is meeting today with the Giants. Yeah, I heard, man. Let's get it done, my man. Let's get it done, my man. I can't wait, my man. And Killian Farrell, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, if we get AJ, I want to go Slater in the draft at number 11 and Wyatt Davis, any interior offensive lineman or edge if we go Slater. Can't wait for the draft. Dave set us up beautifully. You damn right he did, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go. And I'm all aboard the hog train. I'm telling you right now, I'm all aboard the hog train right now. I am. John, man, I love you, man, but you save me money on toilet paper. Jay, man, thank you very much. He says, shout out to my future ex-wife, blowing the let's not leads. Jay, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Lolly says, get wicked smat. Woo! I can't even say woo because I've been streaming, I think, now for 332 days straight. But Lolly's been a long-time supporter of the channel. Glad to see her in here. She's a huge Giants fan, huge Giants supporter. What's up, Division? He says, what's up, Chris? Man, thanks for popping in the stream, man. The sports analyst says, why do we need Adoree? They have Bradbury, Darnay, and Love. Well, they can move Logan Ryan back to cornerback. They have Peppers and McKinney for safety. Well, here's my opinion on this. When we brought in Logan Ryan, we did not bring in Logan Ryan to be a cornerback. We brought in Logan Ryan to play safety or potentially slot corner. When we drafted Julian Love, we did not draft him to be an exterior cornerback. We drafted him to be a safety / slot corner. When we drafted Darnay Holmes, we did not draft him to be an exterior cornerback. We drafted him to be a slot corner. So the New York Giants, obviously, and it's a big reason why they traded for Yadam last year, don't view those guys as an exterior corner. And I know people saw Julian Love. They thought he did a pretty good job last year. You look at the quotes last year when we brought in Logan Ryan. He even said that he preferred not to play on the outside. He felt like he had lost his step and he would be better suited as a safety / slot corner. So I think the New York Giants need an upgrade at that position. I wouldn't even be – I'm not in the first round, of course, if they sign Adoree Jackson. But I wouldn't even be opposed to drafting a corner in like the third round because it's not like James Bradbury's a spring chicken. We need exterior corners. In this defense, you have got to be able to cover on an island to be able to send the dogs. And if you want to be able to send the blitzes at the frequency that I think the Giants are going to want to do it this year and not play that prevent defense that everybody hates, where the Giants played bend but don't break. They did a magnificent job in the red zone last year. Don't make no mistake about it. We had the second best red zone defense in football last year, but we bend and we didn't break. If we want to be more aggressive, if we want to create more turnovers, if we want to blitz a lot more, get more sacks, we got to be able to cover. Getting a guy like Adoree Jackson would accomplish that. But thank you very much, my man. And let's see. What's going on there, Jeremy, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Let's see. Jonathan, man, thank you very much. People thought I was crazy suggesting the Giants go O-line. Now it's shaping up like the O-line is their top priority in the draft. Offseason, all about DJ plus secondary. I'm with you, Jonathan, at this point in time. And I'm not saying we can't fill other needs. I'm not saying that, but they've got to prioritize the offensive line in this year's draft. They've got to. They lost Kevin Zeitler. You don't know what you got in Lemieux. You don't know what you got in Hernandez. You don't know what you got in Matt Parrott / Nate Solder. They've got to bring in another lineman, in my opinion, early in this year's draft. I'm not saying it has to be the first round. I'm leaning that way right now. It's got to be early. But Jonathan, man, thank you very much, my man. Let's see. And I know people don't like the Hogs. Not everybody likes the Hogs, but Michael, he says, if we get Adoree Jackson, who are we drafting? Like I said, I don't know. I don't know who's going to be there. Like last year, it was more cut and dry. We were picking 4. I knew who was more than likely going to be there. And I thought they were taking a tackle. I couldn't narrow it down which tackle they were going to take, but I was almost positive they were going to take a tackle. This year, if you get Adoree Jackson, I think that kind of knocks the cornerback out of it. Even though I think Patrick can get to us now with what Denver did yesterday, signing another cornerback in Fuller. But I don't think we would draft the corner at that point. I think you're looking at offensive line, potential defensive line, like a guy like Kwity Paye, or another weapon. I think that's what you're looking at number 11. And Max, man, thank you very much. Let's hope we get Adoree signed until tomorrow. After that, who's next? A veteran offense? I would love it. I don't know if they're going to have the cap space to do something like that, Max, but I would love a veteran offensive lineman on a 1-year contract, something like that. I doubt that's if they're able to sign a decent offensive lineman late in the process on a 1-year deal. I don't think it'll happen yet. It'll happen when they don't have a lot of options. A lot of players are probably holding out, hoping that the market regulates and they're able to get a $4 or $5 million deal, maybe a $6 million deal. New York Giants don't have that in their budget right now. They could reconstruct some salaries, but you don't want to backload too much. You don't want to hurt your future cap too much. So they've already done a little bit with some of the players that they've brought in. So you got to think about that as well. Sticky Fingers, man. Thank you very much, man. He says, think how many teams gave up voidable years just to retain and stay under the cap. We gave out one $4 million voidable to improve. So proud of my G-men. Stand up. The contracts for the amount, the talent that we brought in and the amount of money that we had to spend for them not to really affect future cap. They did a fantastic job. And like I said today in the video, if things go south, which we all hope it doesn't with Golladay, yeah, it's a $10 million hit, but it's not the end of the world. With a budget that's going to be $230 million, you'll be able to get out of that. You could say the same thing for Leonard Williams. I think it's a $6 or $7 million hit in year 3. If things are going south, you would save a ton of money on that, being that he's due to make 25. So the Giants set these contracts up as good as they possibly could to bring in these players, in my opinion. Don, man, thank you very much. Chris, I was thinking the same plan as last year. O-line first and third round defense in the second best player available for the rest. I would not be upset with that at all. That's kind of where my head's at right now, too. I know it's boring. I know people hate the Hogs. We need Hogs, man. This offensive line still wasn't a finished product yesterday. The more talent you can bring in, the better. It's never bad to have depth on that offensive line. And we got 3 weapons in free agency. So you got to be able to protect your quarterback. We're talking about being able to assess Daniel Jones this year. Well, if you want to properly assess Daniel Jones, you need weapons, but you also need to be able to block. Like, I don't want to leave no excuses. I want to give this guy every opportunity to succeed so we can find out what we got with this quarterback. And if you have the ability to go out there and draft a Rashawn Slater, and you can play him at the guard, and maybe the future plan is to move him to the tackle to start the year, I think you do it. Rakib, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. AJ's agent said they tuned when it came to the Giants. They tuned? Oh, they're happy, you mean? I think he's coming, man. Everything I don't want to say 100%. I never want to say that. I don't want to give people false expectations. Maybe the Eagles blow his door off. I don't know how they could, though. They have no cap space. But yeah, I think he grew up an Eagles fan. So some people were saying that. But I'm kind of with you, my man. I think he's going to be, if I had to guess, I think he's going to be a Giant. JP says, I want Surtain so badly, even if we get, I wouldn't be upset with it. You know, I recognize that we need a young corner. I wouldn't cry if we drafted him, especially if this was a 1-year contract. But at that point, I think I'd be wanting to attack the offensive line. If we don't get him, I'm definitely open to taking a corner in the first round. Pluggage, man, thank you very much, man. Am I still crazy for wanting Waddle? You're not crazy. That's your opinion. And I'm a big Waddle fan. If you watch my channel, you know that. I've gone on record as saying with my first mock draft, once I started doing a little research on these prospects, in my first mock draft, I said I think Waddle's the second best wide receiver in this draft class. I don't think you're crazy for that. I personally would not go that route at this point. But I'd understand it. You could argue Kenny Galladay's getting up there in age. He's not going to be a long-term man, so let's get that young wide receiver and really bolster this core this year. I get it. But I think we need to get this offensive line rocking. I think if we have an opportunity to take a really good offensive line, that's my opinion. New York Giants, LA Dodgers, T-Wolves fan, thank you very much. We need 2 more linemen, especially a guard. Definitely need an interior offensive lineman, no denying it. No, at least one. Formula, man, thank you very much. I think fans don't realize how much comp can be brought in via draft even after round 1. Jobs will be pushed. Which unit needs the most competition? Sure. I'll tell you what, man. I could another thing I didn't say, Formula Fitness. I could even see them taking a guy like Darisaw. I could. I wouldn't be shocked. We know that he loves the interior defensive lineman. BJ Hill's not here long term. I'm not saying I want this, but I could see it. BJ Hill's not here long term. Austin Johnson's not here long term. I could see it. I'm leaning more offensive line or corner if we don't sign one. But in terms of what unit needs the most competition, I think it's the offensive line. I mean, right now, if I'm being honest with you guys, there's only 2 guys that I trust for sure to be long-term answers on that offensive line, and that's Nick Gates and that's Andrew Thomas. And outside of that, I can't conclusively say that Will Hernandez is definitely going to be the guy. I can't say that about Shane Lemieux, and I can't say that about Matt Parrott yet. How could I? He's barely played. So I think offensive line needs more competition, man. But thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. And Kyle, man, thank you so much, man. He says, what's up, Dana? Definitely going to come to your tailgate parties if it's possible to meet you. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Question is, what's up with all the Shep hate? I personally think we will see how effective he is if everybody stays healthy. I don't get it either. I don't get it. I don't get the Slayton hate. I don't get the Shep hate. And yes, I know that our receiving core underperformed last year by a wide margin. But I also know that Barkley was out, and I also know that we didn't have a number one option. So all these guys were asked to do more than what they're really capable of doing. Now Shep gets downgraded to the slot. Slayton's a 2. I think both of them could perform good with Kenny Golladay in this lineup. I really believe that. And I honestly don't get the Shep hate. I've always liked Shep. The only thing I've always worried about is the concussions, the injuries. But in terms of a tough wide receiver, the guy's a good blocker. The guy's a good route runner. The guy plays hard. Yeah, maybe people aren't too happy with the contract. I get it. But I think Sterling Shepard could play well for the Giants. Now that you got Kenny Golladay and Barkley coming back, you had Kyle Rudolph as well. You had John Ross. I think Shep will fit in just fine. I'm not worried about Shep. I'm not looking to trade Shep. And I don't think anybody would take Shep based on the amount of money that he makes in this market. So I think we got him, and I'm happy that we do. I think he's going to be a contributor. Marco, man, thank you very much, man. What do you think of Sam Beal? Can he possibly surprise us this year? People have been asking me that now for the last 3 years. Is it possible? Sure. He was a guy that we thought very highly about. We gave up a 3rd-round pick to bring him in. Am I banking on it? No. The guy sat out due to COVID. The guy's had major injury concerns his entire career as a New York Giant, and when he got an opportunity to start, he struggled mightily. So I would say I'm leaning no. I'm leaning no for Sam Beal. That's definitely not a guy that I want to bank on. Okay, I would much rather have a more proven commodity at that outside cornerback spot. Could he make the team as a backup cornerback? Sure, why not? But do I think he'll be a starter this year? No. I think that's asking way too much as fans if you expect that going into the year. We need a more proven commodity at that position, in my opinion. But thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. And Dylan, man, thank you very much. He says we got Rashawn Jenkins. Quarter JF Lawson equals best D line. Oh, you're talking about the Jets? Yeah, I mean, I didn't know you got Jenkins. I knew you got Lawson. I was a big fan of Lawson. I don't know if you got the best D-line. We got a pretty damn good D-line, but you guys got a very good D-line. The Washington football team probably is, off the top of my head, the best D-line, but maybe there's one better. But you guys definitely improved your team this year. You added some nice pieces. Max, man, thank you very much. He says, I've seen a Clowney rumor on Twitter a few hours ago. What would you think about backloading salaries for an injury-prone edge? I'm not backloading any salaries for Jadeveon Clowney. If I could get him on a very cost-effective deal, 1-year contract, that's fine. If he wants to come aboard, I do think he fits the scheme. I do think there was some legitimacy that the New York Giants were interested in him last year in free agency. But if I got to backload tons of salaries to get him here, no, absolutely not. The guy's injury-prone. The guy has underperformed due to what his expectations were coming into the league. So my answer is absolutely not. I'm not backloading any contracts to bring Jadeveon Clowney in. If I get him on a prove-it deal for like $3-4 million and he can't get many better offers, sure, I'll bring him in at that price. But I'm not backloading contracts, at least of significance, to bring in a guy like Jadeveon Clowney. Absolutely not. And Michael Mooch, man, thank you very much. Might be too much to ask, but Adoree and then Clowney on a prove-it deal. Judge also said he always loved Cordell Patterson from his New England days. Yeah, I like Cordell Patterson. I thought they'd be interested in Cordell Patterson, but at this point, I don't think we're adding him. I mean, we got John Ross. I feel like at this, I'd be shocked. I don't expect Cordell Patterson at this point in time. I would have liked him though. He's versatile. He's definitely a kick returner. You could use him as a running back. We've seen that as Giants fans when he's gone up against us. I don't see it. I don't see it. Had we not signed Ross, I would say he's definitely an option. As far as Adoree and Clowney go, it sounds like Adoree is much more realistic than he was before. So we'll see if that happens. I think it sounds like it's going to. Clowney, I have not seen it from a reputable source. As far as the Clowney thing goes, I saw it on Twitter. A lot of my subscribers pointed me to it. It's from like an NFL Rumors Twitter page. There's no check mark. It's not like it's from Jordan Renan. It's not like it's from Tom Pelissero. Like I said, on a cheap contract, I'm okay with it. But I'm not backloading salaries for him. A Pimp Nate Slickback, thank you very much, man. Are people forgetting that 2016 we had tons of weapons but couldn't move the ball because the O-line sucked? Get me Slater at 11 and a guard at second or third. Get Hogs. I'm with you. Oh, you don't even got to go all the way back to 2016, my man. Go back to 2018. 2018, we had arguably the best running back in football. Saquon Barkley was a beast that year in his rookie year. And we had one of the top 3 or 4 wide receivers in the sport, Odell Beckham. The offense sucked because we couldn't block. I knew after the first play that year, I went into that year, I was like, all right, maybe we could get Eli Manning that signature send-off season. They got Barkley. They got Will Hernandez, right? They signed Nate Solder. You're going excited. You say to yourself, maybe this offensive line could perform at least league average. And with these weapons, with Odell Beckham, with Saquon Barkley, you could beast out. First drive, I knew the season was over. Eric Flowers got smoked 3 plays in a row. I don't care what your weapons are. If you can't block, You ain't doing nothing. The Kansas City Chiefs have the best weapons in the sport. Okay? They did nothing because their tackles sucked in the Super Bowl. You've got to be able to block. This isn't fantasy football. Robert, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. What do you think is the best pass rusher in this year's draft? Who's the best fit for the Giants D? Most people would tell you Kwity Paye, and I definitely think Kwity Paye fits the defense the best. He's versatile. You can play on the inside and the out. He fits the 3-4 alignment pretty well. So if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick him. A lot of people say Adoree. They like him. Obviously, Greg Rousseau. I think I'd go with Kwity Paye. I think he's the best schematic fit, and a lot of people feel like he's the best. John Letourneau, man, thank you very much. Chris, I was just trolling about the jersey. I know you were, man. Be careful thinking the Giants are going to be great, or you may be humbled. Now the pressure is on Danny. Hey, man, I notice how I didn't say that word? I don't call him by his nickname. You got to earn your nickname. I ain't calling him that till he earns it. You got to earn it, and I think he will, but I ain't going to say it till he earns it. And yeah, he's definitely got pressure on him. The offensive line's got to produce, though. But we got him the weapons now. He's got to go out there and he's got to bowl. No doubt about it, John. He's got to go out there. He's got to bowl, my man. But thank you very much, John. I appreciate it, man. Let me just get rid of this. Let's see. John's the man, though, man. There he is. Okay. Next up, who do we got? Killian, man. Thank you very much, man. Mock draft next week. Can't wait. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have a I'm going to wait till free agency's done. Like, I want to know what all the teams got. I want to be able to evaluate. One thing I'll say, though, if we do not get Adoree Jackson, I am almost, I should say positive because anything could happen in the draft. I'm pretty confident only one cornerback is going to go before we pick. Because now that the Broncos got Fuller, I look at the rest of the draft. I don't see outside of Dallas and maybe the Falcons, but I don't think so. I think only one corner will go before we pick. So if we don't get a corner, I would guess we're probably going corner. But if we get our corner today or tomorrow, obviously I'll think differently. But obviously I want to see what all these teams do before we do one of those mock drafts. I got to see if the Giants get Adoree Jackson. I got to see what other teams do still in the process. There's still a lot of big names out there. But yeah, I want to try to have a first round mock draft up in within like 5 days. Sticky Fingers, man. Thank you very much. Did you see Jordan Schultz Twitter 58 minutes? Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up anyway. That's the second guy who asked me. I did see it, but I'll show it to the chat in case somebody else did not see it. Just want to make sure I spell it right. But a number of you guys pointed me to it on Twitter. Jordan Schultz, he's got 72,000 followers. He's got the check mark. He works for ESPN Plus. And here it is. Here is Jordan Schultz's tweet. Let's share that with you guys. And here it is. I'm told the Giants have a high priority on signing Adoree Jackson. DBs, Jabril Peppers, and Darnay Holmes are both recruiting the playmaking corner. Remember, Kenny Galladay's cap hit was negotiated down, leaving ample space for the G-men to try and sign Jackson. So there you go. There you go. We're in on it, man. There's no doubt about it. But thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. Next comment right here. And Deep Dish Chris, my man. I like that name. Deep Dish Chris. I might have to call myself that. He says, if we sign Jackson and after the draft, what are the chances we win the division this year? Got to see what the other teams do. But what I'll tell you is we're definitely going to be in play. I'll tell you that right now. I think we have as good of an opportunity as anybody in this division this year. That's my expectations going in. Based off this free agency period. I have playoff expectations going into the year. I think we have a good chance to win the division and definitely a good chance to make the playoffs. Jay, man, thank you very much, man. Evan Oops has carpal tunnel on the brain. My personal neurosurgeon will fix him right up. Go Big Blue. Hey, man, I said it on Twitter today, man. It's going to feel weird. I might sell. You know how me and Bad Dog used to jokingly celebrate every time Rosas would make a kick because he was so bad 2 years ago, the first 8 to 10 games. Every time Kyle Rudolph makes a catch and doesn't drop the ball, I think I'm going to celebrate calling Giants games because I'm not used to seeing tight ends catch the ball. I'm just not. I'm also not seeing. I'm also not used to seeing tight ends block. So it's nice to have Kyle Rudolph on this team. There's no doubt about it. Ian, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, "What up, Chris? How are you? Which position do you think we should go for in the draft if we get Adoree? Offensive line. Offensive line. That's my opinion right now. The other that you could argue is edge. Defensive line / edge, maybe an OLB, and possibly another weapon. I think that's what you're looking at. But if you ask me, I'd say offensive line. If the right guy was there. Anarchist, man, thank you very much, man. If Pitts is available at 11, draft him. Trade Ingram, go guard in the second round, and light up every defense in the league. If you could trade Ingram. But if he's there, what I'll say is if he's there, and they're able to trade Ingram, yes, I think the New York Giants would absolutely be interested. I have a feeling the Pitts will not be there, but we'll see. Obviously, we got a long way to talk about that. Stephen Lilly, man, thank you very much, man. Kenny Golladay, Barkley, Ross, all injury history, no to Clowney. We're not taking Clowney. Like I said, Stephen, if it's nothing, why not? But if I'm giving him a multi-year deal or if I'm having a backload salaries to bring him in here, no chance. No chance whatsoever. He's a name at this point. Pete, man, thank you very much. Slater at 11 moves Gates to guard. Well, no, I think Gates would stay at guard. I think you put Slater at the guard. Slater's a guard/tackle. He played tackle, but most people feel like he could easily shift to guard. I think you would Gates at the center. And you put Slater at the guard. But yeah, I think that's what his position would be if we ended up drafting him this year, with the possibility of eventually becoming the right tackle if Peart struggles. Tackle, man, thank you very much. Jordan Renan said he would be surprised if we go O-line. Hey, me and Jordan Renan don't agree on everything. I'm not, and again, I got to see who's on the board. I got to see what we do the rest of the free agency. If we don't get a Dory Jackson, I'm leaning corner that we're going to go. If we get a Dory Jackson, if they don't go line in the first, they're going line in the second. There will be a lineman drafted by the Giants within the first 2 rounds. You could bank on that. I'd be surprised if there is not. If they don't take one in the first, they'll be taking one in the second. But thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. Taco's the man as well. Always alert me on Twitter. Diehard Nixon Giants fan. Joel, man, thank you very much. With Golladay, what is a realistic record for the G-men? Again, we'll see what they do in the draft. We'll see what they would do the rest of the free agency period. If the offensive line is average, I think 10 wins is more than reasonable. 10-7, I think that's very realistic. I really do. I think 10 wins. I think that's not crazy. We won 6 games last year, and we should have won at least 8. Now, you could say that we got lucky in some of the opponents that we played when we played them. The Bengals were without Burrow. There were a couple injuries. Obviously, Dak went down. We won a game against Dallas. But you could also say we got unlucky against teams that we could have easily beaten. So if Ingram holds on to the ball, we have 7 wins at least. I think with the additions we've made and the fact that they have another year of continuity and they're playing a softer schedule, I think 10 wins is reasonable as long as we draft well. I think 10 wins is reasonable, man. But Joel, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. And a pimp, man, thank you very much, man. Chiefs, Cowboys, Ravens, Eagles all invested multiple years of first-round picks into O-linemen. You forgot the Saints. I think it's like 4 of the last 6 drafts they've drafted a lineman in the first round, Ruiz included last year. We have questions at 3 O-line positions. Got to get 2 of them. Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. Got to take 2 of them in the draft. I would take 2 linemen in this draft. I don't think I would go first 2 rounds, but I'm definitely open to taking 2 linemen in this year's draft. I agree with you. You got to have the men up front. You got to have the hogs. I'm with you on that. Mark, man, thank you very much. I would like a trade back in the first round. Jaylen Phillips guard in the second. Draft deep for guards. Jaylen Phillips, Jaylen Phillips is a guy a lot of people like. Guy with a lot of talent. The thing that what everybody says about Jaylen Phillips that you got to worry about, he's got an injury history. The guy out of Miami, he's got an injury history, but a lot of people feel like he's even a better talent than Greg Rousseau. We'll see, but you got to worry about those injuries. But he's definitely a guy that a lot of people like. But thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it. But let's see. We just got Mark. Now we got Faded. What's going on, Faded? AJ is having dinner with the Avengers tonight. Let me get a sip of coffee before I forget. CAWFEE, coffee. Says AJ is having dinner with the Avengers tonight. I'm loving how our players are recruiting. That's blue collar. Well, Logan Ryan said he was going to do it before free agency. Daniel Jones, you saw the quotes that he said about Kenny Golladay. Like, this team is coming together. This team's trying to do something special. They know they got a window here with Daniel Jones still on his rookie contract. They're trying to fill in this roster, and they're trying to go make a run at it. These next couple of years, they're trying to make a run. And we'll see if the New York Giants have a dramatic improvement this year. They're kind of doing what the Bills did for Josh Allen. They went out there. They got him as wide receiver. You saw Josh Allen have a dramatic improvement. As far as Mayfield goes, no, they didn't get him a great weapon last year. They got the weapon the year before. But they bolstered up that offensive line for him going into year 3. The Giants have an opportunity here, I think, to have a pretty good team next year. But we'll see. Max, man, thank you very much. As an LSU Tiger, I'm wondering if you have any opinion on Shelvin as defensive tackle or Cox as a linebacker as our potential day 2/3 picks. Go Tigers and go Giants. Well, Mac, I appreciate that, my man. A bunch of people, I've looked into a little bit with Shelvin. A lot of people brought him up to me. I think he's like a 3rd or 4th round prospect from what I've seen. I'm fine with that. I think, and Cox, I know about. I don't know a ton about him. Again, I think he's in that 3 to 4 round range. But what I've heard about with Shelvin is he could be a good interior presence for the defensive line. And I think that's something that the New York Giants definitely need to focus on. You know, a lot of people get discouraged. They say, "Oh, get him and took another D tackle." Well, yeah, but you look at the defensive line right now. Yeah, we have a lot right now. Even after losing Dalvin Tomlinson, you have Austin Johnson. I think McIntosh is still on the team. Obviously, yeah, you have Hill and of course Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. But like I said, 2 of those guys are free agents next year, so you don't know. Both will not be back, if I had to guess. Maybe one. And at that point, yeah, I definitely could see us taking a defensive lineman in the 3rd round or so, maybe even the 2nd round. I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out at all. So maybe even the 1st round. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked. But Michael, man, thank you very much, man. Adoree Jackson's agent commented, "Wait on it," under a Giants page on Instagram. Wait on it. Wait on it, Michael. Let's see what happens, my man. Let's see what happens, my man. And Peter, man, thank you so much. Stan got the hiccups. Up, new member. Welcome to the channel, my man. And now, what I'm going to say about Adoree Jackson's agent, isn't that a horrible job? Like, if you're Adoree Jackson's agent, why would you go around Instagram telling people that you're dropping hints that your client's probably going to sign with the Giants? Wouldn't you try to maximize value? Wouldn't you be like, well, why would you say anything? I don't know. But hopefully he's telling the truth. Hopefully it happens. We'll see. But Peter, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, my man. And Heartstorm Media, if you haven't done so, check him out. That guy's a great dude. He says, with our free agent moves, I take best available at 11. I mean, I'm not against that. Like, if they feel that Jaylen Waddle is far and away the best player on their board, or if Kyle Pitts is far and away the best player on their board, okay, take him. But I think if it's close, they're not taking the weapon. If they feel like a guy like Rashawn Slater or Vera Tucker is close in terms of where they have him on their board, I think they would go with the lineman. But if there's a big discrepancy, they probably take the weapon, Heartstorm. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Let's see what we got. A pimp, he says, for Jones, I don't want to do the Allen comparison. If he's Cousins or Tannehill, who could show up in the clutch, that works for me. Yeah, I'm just trying to talk about how they added the receiver. But in terms of a player, I'm not doing that. I'm not setting the expectation sky high. I will not do that on this channel. You do that, you get in trouble. You get people thinking that he should be this top 3 or 4 quarterback in the league, which is what Josh Allen was last year. I'm not expecting that. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for a guy that can make plays, don't turn the football over, and win big games. That's what I want. And I think he's capable of doing it if you get a good team around him. Hopefully we bolster up that offensive line like you've been saying, and we'll find out this year. But I am not setting the bar to Josh Allen level status year 3. I think that's unrealistic to ask a guy who threw 11 touchdowns the year before to become one of the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the league in a year's time. I don't see it. I think that's unrealistic. I think you're asking too much. I just want him to go out there. I want him to beat good teams. I want him to mature as a quarterback, and I want us as a fan base to have more confidence with him going forward. We need to see growth. We need to see him improve. We need to see him get better. Doesn't necessarily have to be a finished product this year, but he's got to definitely take a big step in the right direction. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, buddy. And Lax, man, thank you very much. I wanted Surtain from the beginning, but if they sign Jackson, I would want them to go Parsons or another wide receiver. I wouldn't mind Slater, but I also wouldn't be shocked if he's gone before 11. I think he could definitely be gone before 11. There's, nobody's talking about Atlanta. I said that last stream in terms of taking a lineman. The Bengals are clearly in the market for taking a lineman. The Cowboys could take a lineman if they don't take a corner. Denver could take a lineman. Like, yeah, I would lean that Slater probably won't be there, but he could be. He definitely could be. As far as Parsons, the only reason I'm not bringing up Parsons is because he just doesn't seem like the type of guy the Giants would draft. But in terms of a schematic fit, in terms of a guy that could be the centerpiece of your defense for years to come, Parsons is that type of player. He fits the scheme very well. So I'd understand it from a talent standpoint for sure. And a Pittman, thank you very much. By the way, guys, New York sports are exciting all year round right now. Yeah, it is, man. It's a long time coming. I think you're a Nets fan, if I'm not mistaken. But the Knicks are exciting too, man. They're 500 for the first time since 1743. The Giants are definitely on the uptick. The Jets, not so much. But they'll have a young quarterback. People will be excited about it. And they definitely brought in some nice free agent additions that will improve the team. And they got a new coach. Mets and Yankees, I think, are both going to be good. Yankees will be real good. I think the Mets will be close to real good too. Hockey, I'm not a big fan of. I know the Islanders are doing well. So, yeah, New York sports are definitely on the uptick. They're definitely improving, and it's about time. It's been a long time coming. MY Giants 26, man, thank you very much. Says, what's up, Chris? Been here the whole time. Adoree. He wants Adoree Jackson, man. I'd be thrilled if we get Adoree Jackson. I think that's the missing link to our defense. I think you get him everything else falls into place. You get to be a much more aggressive defense if you have two strong corners. I'd be ecstatic if we end up with him today. Mark, man, thank you very much. Jaylen Phillips, another first round after trade back. Yeah, I've seen him as a potential second round prospect. Yeah, if you trade it back into the mid-20s, maybe that's a possibility. We could trade back. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not going to bank on it. But maybe, if you ever fell to the second round, maybe. But I don't think we're trading back. But thanks, my man. I appreciate it, my man. But yeah, a lot of people like him. Cole, he says, favorite game you have ever gone to? All right, here's what I'm going to say about the Giant game. By the way, I don't know if he's in. I think he is. I think I saw him pre-stream. I think it's called Man Cave Tailgates. I don't remember the name of his company, but he's in here a lot. I've seen him recently. He reached out to me on Twitter. This guy's trailer thing, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, Winnebago, whatever. It is ridiculous. I cannot wait. I'm planning on getting that for the Giant game next year and setting that up and having a really cool get together. In terms of my favorite game that I've ever been to as a Giants fan, the first thing I'm going to tell you is when I go to Giants games historically, they almost always lose. 2007, I went to 3 games. The year that they won the Super Bowl, I went to 3 games. They lost all 3. Now, granted, they were much better on the road that year. They usually lose. I went to the Jet game with Bad Dog a couple years ago. They lost. They almost always lose. And ironically enough, the best Giants game I've been to was a loss. But it was a very important loss. 2011 against the Green Bay Packers. It was a game in which we should have won. I thought the referee stole the game from us. It was a great game. New York Giants ended up losing 38-35. The Packers at the time, I think, were undefeated. They were like 11-0, 12-0. They were the best team in football. We ended up playing the Packers again in the playoffs and beating them. But much like the loss to the New England Patriots, I felt like that loss almost catapulted the team and gave them confidence going forward. And you saw them finish the year strong and then ultimately get into the playoffs and knock out the Green Bay Packers in the second round. So, yes, it was a loss, but it was a great game. Eli Manning bowled out that day. Obviously, so did Aaron Rodgers. And the Giants, put forth a really good effort against the best team in the league. And then I felt like that gave them confidence going forward. So I would go with that game. I've been to a couple of Giants wins, but that's the one that always sticks out to me because I thought that was a really important loss. Dyer, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Somebody said Josina Anderson. Okay, before I read these, let me go to Josina Anderson real quick. Josina Anderson, 3 minutes ago. I don't know what she means by this, but she basically just said that Adoree. She said Adoree Jackson arrives for his New York visit this afternoon per source. So no news in terms of him coming here, but he's in New York to visit the New York Giants right now. That is supposed to take place this afternoon. And I'm going to tell you what, right now, I'm going to be at my friend's house tonight. If it's not too dark, you will get a car video tonight, if we, in fact, do sign him. And Dyer Giants fan says, Farley and Davis would make me. Yeah, I like Farley a lot. I don't think we could. Nothing would surprise me. We could take a first-round corner, but if we end up getting him, I find it hard to believe that we would draft the first-round corner, but we'll see. MYG coverage says, look at the latest Jordan Renan tweet. I might have already, because a lot of people are telling me to look at tweets, but maybe there was another one. 1 second. 1 hour ago. Yeah, I already read it. He's saying that the Giants are that he's confident the Giants are the favorites. I already read that. But, yeah, man, we'll see if we end up getting him, man. I think we're going to. I'm not going to say it's a foregone conclusion. I'm not going to set false expectations, but I think we're very much in the race. Sticky Fingers, thank you very much, man. AJ's agent getting Giants rowdy on social media will raise his value, not lower. Giants Twitter went nuts for Kenny Golladay, and we gave him $18 million a year. New York is different. Good point. That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that, but that is a good point. I'll give you credit for that. That's a good point. I just want to make sure I don't miss any of these. Okay, good. Might have to read a couple on the phone because the chat gets backlogged after a bit. Yeah, let me scroll back up, see if I can get it. This is the next one I see, but I think there was somebody before him. Yeah, we got actually, no, you were the next. I'm sorry. Kevin, man, thank you very much. Number 11, Quiddy Pay. Number 42, Zayvon Collins. Number 76, Ben Cleveland. That would help your defense dramatically. Cleveland could be a good offensive lineman. If they do that, will I be upset? No. I personally would probably rather go offensive lineman no later than the second. But if they do that, would I be upset? No. I mean, that fills in some holes. You still get a good guard in the third. And Quiddy Pay does fit this scheme. Anarchist, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And Quiddy Pay with Leonard Williams. Think about that. Quiddy Pay with Leonard Williams, with Dexter Lawrence. Oh, my God. Anarchist, man, thank you very much, man. Fun fact, I went to the Pro Bowl in 2014 and got a drink thrown at me when a lady realized my Giants away jersey wasn't a 49ers jersey. Well, that tells you a lot about 49er fans. Football guy, man, what's going on, buddy? He says Saquon, Golladay, Pitts, make it happen. That'd be a hell of a trio. Let's put it that way. And then you factor in Rudolph on top, Shepard, Slayton. Whoa. Max, man, thank you very much, man. Mitchell Schwartz, Eric Fisher, Forrest Lamp, Trey Turner, who would be still targeting for agency, needs some further line help. By the way, Adoree is in the building. Yeah, I just heard about that. I would go out of those. I go Trey Turner. Fisher and Schwartz are both tackles. One of them I heard was probably going to retire and has injury history anyway. We need more help in the interior. If we were going to get one, Turner would make the most sense. Gettleman's got ties to him, and he plays the guard spot, something that we need. So out of those, I think I'd pick Trey Turner. But thank you very much, man. Kelly says, Chris, what's a reasonable contract for Dory? I mean, I've heard I'm hoping $6-7 million, but it might be more. It could easily be more than that. I don't know. I have no idea what he's going to go for. But the Giants don't have a ton. Well, again, it could be like a 2-year, $12 million a year contract because they could structure it in a way to make it work with the cap. So it could, I don't know what his market is, to be completely honest with you. I don't know. I guessed with Golladay I was wrong. So all I can tell you is I think we got enough money to bring him in if we want to do it. And I can't imagine that his market is high enough, like super high. Otherwise, why would the Eagles be meeting with him? The Eagles don't have any money. So I don't think it's going to like kill us. Let's put it that way. He's coming off an injury. Ryan, man, thank you very much, man. How would the starting defense look like with Adoree? They have a ton of secondary depth. I really want McKinney to start. Well, Ryan, what I say all the time, I think there's going to be a lot of 3 safety sets. Okay, so McKinney, I don't even look at it like a set starting lineup. I don't, because they're going to have a different lineup based on the team that they're playing. But I think McKinney's going to get more than enough snaps. I think Logan Ryan's going to get snaps. I think Peppers is going to get snaps. I think all 3 of those players will be out there a lot. I think Darnay Holmes will get snaps in the slot. Julian Love probably be out of the lineup. Maybe he comes in a little bit, but he's not going to be in there a lot. If you get a Dory Jackson, he's going to play on one side. Bradbury will play on the other. Like I said, those safeties will be all over the place. Martinez obviously in the middle. And you can see Peppers playing up in the box as well. Obviously, Leonard Williams is going to be out there a ton. Dexter Lawrence is going to be out there a ton. And B.J. Hill, as of now, unless we draft a lineman, B.J. Hill and Austin Johnson will be out there a ton. Along with I'm so bad at Afadi, the guy from Minnesota. I think he'll get some burn. The linebacker we picked up, Ragland in free agency, he'll get some burn. They'll mix and match. But yeah, the guys that I mentioned will get the most playing time. But I wouldn't be too worried about McKinney. I think he'll get playing time. And I think they're going to have a lot of 3 safety sets. There's versatility with McKinney. He fits the scheme. And like I said, I think they'll play Peppers a lot up in the box in certain packages. But Ryan, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And Brazzy, man, thank you so much, man, for the $5 donation. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. Is there an actual chance we get Clowney? I saw somebody say real quick as I was flipping by. If it's a really cheap deal and a proven contract, sure. I'm not backloading salaries to bring him in. Ian, man, thank you very much. I think we should go with a weapon in the first round, then get a tackle in the second. I think it'd be guard if we're going second. Maybe Wyatt Davis. That's a guy I'd like. Just filling in depth with the last 4 picks. I understand it. You could look at it like Galladay's not going to be our long-term. Shepard's not going to be our long-term. If you love a weapon, maybe you take that guy in the rookie contract. If they're in love with the guy, you take him. Okay, whatever. You take the best player available. We could use a little more spark to the offense. But if you can't block, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care who your weapons are. If you can't block, it don't mean nothing. We have to be able to block. So that's why I personally, at this point, knowing that this is just me, and I totally understand people's opinions who want to go the weapon in the first. This is just me. Knowing that I get a good weapon in the second. It's a very deep wide receiver class. If I really wanted a weapon, I'm taking the offensive lineman first. I'm taking the weapon in the second. I think right now, the offensive line is more of a priority. There's a lot of question marks on that line right now. Joseph, man, thank you very much. Need a proven right guard. Can't count on the draft alone. If you could get one. Sure. I think the Giants are going to be banking on Hernandez to have a pretty good year this year. Lemieux, I don't know, but they're going to need one of these guys to step up and play well. There's no doubt about it. But I would love a proven guard. If you could get one, if you get Trey Turner, that'd be great. But we also need a corner. So I understand going after a corner as well. I think that's our biggest need on the defense. Lucas, man, thank you very much. He says, Karen, I love you, baby. Corinne, I love you, baby. Maybe it's Corinne. Corinne, baby. I don't know what you mean by that, Lucas, but I love your Giants attire. It looks great. Thank you very much, Lucas. I appreciate it. My name is not Corinne, though, but I appreciate you for trying. My name's Chris. Donnie, man, thank you very much. I'm scared Jason Garrett will blank this offense up. I think Garrett finally has the pieces to, I'm not going to say we're going to have an unbelievable offense, but I think he's got the pieces for this offense to look solid this year. I think last year he lacked an exterior presence, a tall wide receiver, and Barkley being out certainly hurt him. I also think Rudolph really fits the scheme. So I think with Barkley back, with Jones being more accustomed to the scheme, with the offensive line more used to playing with one another, having better weapons that fit this scheme, I think the offense will be improved. Am I going to tell you we're going to be the Kansas City Chiefs? No, but I think the offense will be improved. Jeff, man, thank you very much. Is Golladay, Slayton, I think you meant, Shep, Ross better than Burris, Hickson, Toomer, Smith? I mean, Burris, yeah, it could be. Let's put it that way. It could be. I'd still say Toomer was older then, though, but he was still good. It could be. Yeah, I think Slayton could play well in the 2. I think Shepard could play well in the 3. I think it could be comparable to that, Jeff. But the thing is, the offensive line then was much better than the offensive line now. Ian, man, thank you very much, man. You're right. Big fan, Chris. I appreciate that, Ian, man. Thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it, man. But Burris was really good. So I don't think I'm hoping Galladay's as good as Burris. Burris was damn good. He was damn good. If he's Burris, that'd be great. Kelly, man, thank you very much. Lots of good offensive line options at 11. Darrisaw, Vera Tucker, potentially Slater. They're going to have options, Kelly. There's no doubt about it. They're going to have options there if they want to take a hog molly. And I think let's put it this way. They'll at least entertain it. Taco, man, thank you very much. Wide receiver at 11. We brought in 2 wide receivers at free agency, many other needs. That's my mindset at this point in time. If you really want to take another wide receiver, if you want to add more spark to this team, it's a very deep wide receiver class. I think by getting the weapons that we already got, it gave us the freedom not to have to take a wide receiver in the first round. And I think that's the route that they will ultimately take. But I wouldn't be shocked. Bryce, man, thank you very much. If someone was to donate you $100, how much would you get from that? You don't have to answer this if it is personal information. I don't get 100. I get more than half, but I don't get 100. So there's your answer. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's I would guess about 70%. YouTube takes a cut. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Luke, man, thank you very much. Admittedly, per no credible sources, Jadeveon Clowney drawing supposed interest from us. If the price is right, do we do a 1 year? Yes, if the price is right. I'm not backloading contracts to fit him on this team, though. This is a guy that underperformed last year. He's a guy that has extensive injury history. If he really wants to play or if he feels like he fits the scheme and it's going to give him the ability to really take a big jump next year, in the free agency, and he likes the New York Giants and he wants to come here really cheap, have at it. I am not cutting into next year's budget to bring him in. But thank you to everybody for being here. And Anthony, man, thank you so much, man. Stand up, new member. Welcome to the channel, Anthony, man. I appreciate it, my man. Member stream is going to be in, for all the new members, I like to let you guys know in case you don't know, we're going to have a member stream in about 2 weeks. So, and we're going to be giving away a signed Eli Manning mini helmet. DJ Swoop, thank you very much. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Kenny Golladay is here. What's up, DJ? I know you're happy about that. I need you to give Dave Gettleman a little credit, my man. Kenny Golladay is here. Jones got a bull, and Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith in the first, guard in the second. We'll see if they do that, man. I think they're going to be leaning offensive line, and I don't think any Giants fan should be upset about it if they do. I think they're going to be leaning offensive line, but we'll see. And man, thank you very much, man. Plax was a free agent steal. We need an edge rusher. Plax was one of our best free agent acquisitions we ever had since I've been watching the New York Giants. And a lot of people questioned it when we made it. We paid him a lot of money at that point in time for the wide receiver market. One of the best free agent acquisitions we ever had. Of course, he cost us another Super Bowl. But Antro was another good free agent acquisition. What's his name? I said it the other day. Most underrated free acquisition. I said it on Twitter. I always get him confused with Kiwanuka because he's got a weird name. The linebacker that we picked up from the Buffalo Bills for the 2007 Super Bowl team, Kawika Mitchell. I always say he's a very underrated free agent acquisition as well. But Burris, was huge. He was a huge acquisition. And I agree, we do need an edge rusher. We definitely could use an edge rusher. I just don't know if it's a first-round priority. And Bryce, man, especially because this draft is not known as a strong edge rusher draft class. Bryce, man, thank you very much. What was your next jersey you were thinking about? Galladay. I'm buying Galladay. I'm getting a Galladay jersey. And Rocket, oh, man. Stand up, new member. Welcome to the channel, man. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for the support, my man. And who do we got here? We got Pluggage, man. What's going on, man? Thank you so much, man. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you to everybody that watches the videos. Thank you to everybody that hits the thumbs up. Thank you to everybody that subscribes. And I'm glad that everybody's happy right now that the Giants are having a good offseason. And thank you guys for continuing to show up in my streams and talk football during the free agency period. Like I said, I'm not going to do this all the time because there's not always going to be a ton to talk about. Maybe I'll go live, I don't know about tomorrow. We'll see if there's stuff to talk about. If he signs, maybe we will. Up until the draft, I'll do this probably the week leading up into the draft. I'll do midday streams all week. And maybe a couple of days after the fact. And in season, like I said yesterday, I know a lot of you guys seem to like the midday streams. In season, maybe starting in preseason, we'll go maybe twice a week midday, talking with you guys while you guys are at work. Listen to me on your lunch break. But thank you so much, Pluggers, man. I appreciate it. Sticky Fingers, man. Thank you for so much. I got no voice. I can't sing. I've been streaming for 332 days straight. He says, please sing When the Moon Hits Your Eye like a big pizza pie. When the moon hits your eye like a great pizza pie, that's Adoree. I got no voice, but thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Stephen Lilly from across the pond, he says, if Chris gets $100, his plumber friend is I don't have a plumber friend, but if I did, it would be a female. But thank you so much, Stephen Lilly, man. I appreciate it, man. Steven's been with me since I had about -3 subscribers. But thanks so much, Steven. And Bryce, man, thank you very much. Oh, I missed. No, there we go. I want to be a member. How? I got to give you guys the link. I have to have it saved, but I don't know if one of my mods could. I don't know if they have it, but if one of my mods has the link and could give it to them, I appreciate it. If not, it depends on your device. It seems like some devices it's easier to access than others. I don't know if it's a laptop. If you go to the main page and there's like a join button, you click it, and then you have an option to join the channel. But there's a link I could provide you with it. And if not, I'll start having it saved in my notes so I could send it to people when they ask. Charles Barkley, thank you very much. We still need an OLB desperately, maybe round 1. And Charles says, no, I could see it. I definitely could see it. The problem is I don't want to force a pick. And this is, to me, this is not a rich OLB draft class. I don't want to force a pick just to say that that's a big need of ours and we're just going to take them. It's known as a weak OLB draft class, at least in the first round. So I don't know. I don't think we'll do that. Would I be shocked if they really like a guy like Adoree? People brought him up to me. If they really like Rousseau, I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't think they'll do it. Tony, man, thank you very much, man. Dave Gettleman has been great. He just needs time and Judge. Well, that's the other thing, Tony, that I'll say, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, but that's another thing that I'll say. And I think I'm going to give credit to Cop Bizzle. Cop Bizzle was the first guy to say this, and it makes a ton of sense. Everybody says it's mainly Judge for the free agent acquisitions, and he's the reason players are coming here. And I'm not trying to take away credit from Judge. I love Judge, okay? I've been in love with Judge since the press conference when he first took the job. I love Judge. And I'm not saying Judge doesn't have some say. I'm sure he does. And I'm not saying that Judge doesn't have some influence. I'm sure he does. But is it fair to say that Dave Gettleman had a much worse coach coaching the players that he was drafting before Joe Judge got here? I think the answer is yes, outside of what Pat Shurmur was able to do with quarterbacks. So what I think a lot of people don't look at, they don't look at the fact that maybe, just maybe, the fact that the New York Giants got a better head coach who's good at getting a lot of talent out of their players has something to do with maybe why some of these players are operating better that Dave Gettleman has brought in. That's just my opinion on it. But Fada Man, stand up, new member. Welcome to the channel, my man. I appreciate it, my man. And let me just make sure I don't miss anybody, man. I really appreciate it, man. But did I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. But thank you so much, man. And DJ Smoothie says Joe Judge changed the culture of facts. He got Kenny, Dave Gettleman's a puppet, but honestly, Jones got a ball, no excuses. Josh Allen season year 3 replay. I ain't putting those kind of expectations on him. I just want him to improve, play well, and win some football games. I ain't expecting 40 touchdowns or whatever Josh Allen did. Simon, man, thank you very much. Says, what's up, my man? O-line number 1 priority if we get Adoree. Lockstep, my man. Lockstep. Total agreement with you, my man. And Max, man, thank you very much. Any further free agency wishes, offensive line edge? I mean, if it's in the budget, Max, I would love to be able to get an interior offensive lineman. If it's in the budget, I would love it. I would love to get a maybe another edge. Like you said, a cost-effective edge. Someone similar like the guy we got from the Vikings, Afadi, on a cheap deal down the line. I wouldn't be against it. Maybe a coverage linebacker type player. There's things that maybe we could add later in the process for cheap deals. I don't really see them having much more in the budget. If in terms of $5-6 million contracts, if they end up signing our guy today, Adoree. So we'll see, my man. Alleged, man, thank you very much. If Slater is gone at 11, is there another guard-worthy pick? Vera Tucker. I think most people would say Vera Tucker is the next best, and most people have him going in the 13 to 15, 16 range in the draft. Ricard, man, thank you very much, man. All these weapons plus DJ's legs, 2 wide receivers, ones for the next minimum 3 years. Sign me up. Kenny Golladay has an injury history, and Slayton isn't proven number 1 to replace him. Bateman and more picks, only as good as your weakest link. Hey, I get it. If they're in love with a wide receiver, and for your exact reasoning that you just said, here's what I'm going to say, man. If they take another wide receiver in the draft this year, here's what I'm going to say to Giants fans. I'm going to say this right now. If they spend, and I'm not going to complain if they do it, if they spend a first-round wide receiver on first-round draft pick on Jaylen Waddle, on Kyle Pitts, on whoever, on a wide receiver, I'm going to be on record as saying I do not want to take another wide receiver in the draft for 2 more years. Because at that point, you invested a ton of money into Kenny Golladay. At that point, you invested a top 11 pick in a wide receiver. At that point, you invested money into Kyle Rudolph. You still have Evan Ingram, and you still have a lot of holes on that offensive line. So if you're going to invest a first-round pick on a wide receiver in this draft after signing Kenny Golladay, I don't want to touch a wide receiver early in the draft for the next 2 years. Jack, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I had to donate after that beautiful singing. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that, my man. Thank you very much. And Vinny, man, thank you very much. Prediction for Danny's stats with Kenny. Hi, Michael. Well, Vinny, man, I really appreciate that. My prediction for Daniel Jones's stats with Golladay, again, I don't know what the rest of the team is going to look like, and I don't like to put a number on it. I just hope that we improve and we beat better teams, and he's good with the football, and he makes smart decisions, and he makes big plays when he needs to make them. But what I said in a stream the other day, I think his interceptions will be up. I think that the offense that we're trying to orchestrate is going to lend itself to deeper passes. When you throw deeper balls, there's more interceptions. We knew that with Eli Manning. I'm okay with that. I also think it's going to lend itself to bigger plays. So I think Daniel Jones is going to have more interceptions this year, and I think he's going to have more touchdowns. I think he's going to end up throwing, if I had to guess, in a 17-game schedule, I could see him having very high 20s, low 30s. But I'll go around 27, 28 touchdowns. I'll go 13 or 14 interceptions. That's in the ballpark of what I expect from Daniel Jones this year. And I hope he exceeds that. I hope he blows the door off. But I just want to see improvement with this offense. I want to see him grow, and I want to see him make big plays when they need to be made, and have a couple of signature two-minute drives down the stretch. Instead of throwing the interception against the Rams, close out the game. Instead of throwing the interception against the Steelers late in the third quarter, get it in the end zone, or the fumble. I think. No, it was an interception. Sticky fingers, man. Thank you very much. Josh Allen throws 827 attempts per game. Not a fair comparison for DJ, but DJ will ball. I'll take that to the bank. 3,800 to 4,200 yards, 30 touchdowns is all we need. Oh, if he does that, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Just don't fumble the ball like he did in his rookie year, which I don't think he will. Beamer, thank you very much, man. Cam Fleming signed back for depth, no system, cap friendly. If we didn't bring back Solder, which I've explained several times why it makes complete sense why we brought back Solder, he's basically playing on the team for the same amount of money it would have cost to cut him, I would have said yes. But the fact that Solder's back, I can't see them investing any more money into a swing tackle. If Solder was not here, though, I would have been completely on board with bringing Cam Fleming back. As a matter of fact, I thought Cam Fleming got a little too much hate last year. I'm not saying he definitely had moments last year. He was really bad. He was really bad on the fake field goal. That cost us points. He had moments where he was really bad. But for what we were paying Cam Fleming and what the expectations were going in, he was never expected to be a starter. The expectations were that Nate Solder was going to start. Cam Fleming played okay. He played adequate. I actually thought he got more hate than he deserved because people wanted to see Matt Parrott. But I don't think Cam Fleming will be back because Nate Solder's back. But I wouldn't have been opposed to it had Nate Solder not been back. And G Nation, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, hey, Dana, sleeper pick wide receiver from Charleston, West Virginia, Mike Strachan. Joe Judge wants him 6. Wow, I'll write him down, man. I'll write him down 6'5". Well, you know, I like my tall wide receivers, especially for this scheme. So I'll write him down, man. Mike Strachan. There you go. But G Nation, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And another tall wide receiver that we have on this roster that was supposed to make the team last year is Sills. He got hurt. Maybe he can make the team as a back-end wide receiver. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. Where do we rank in the conference? I mean, right now it's hard to say because I don't know what all the other teams are going to do in free agency still. I don't know what all the other teams are going to do in the draft. I'll be able to give you a much clearer answer mid-May. But right now, I think we're at least middle in the NFC right now, which is a huge improvement. And I definitely think we're playoff contenders. I'll tell you that right now. And DJ Smooth, thank you very much. Daniel Jones, 40 touch. See, that's if you're going in with those expectations and he's got to do that or else he's a complete failure, you're just setting him up to fail. How are you going to ask a guy who threw 11 touchdowns last year to throw 29 more this year? How many quarterbacks in the league throw 40? Hold on. I'm going to pull this up right now. For you. Hold on. You want Daniel Jones to throw 40 touchdowns. Let's take a quick look. You know how many quarterbacks threw 40 touchdowns last year? Let's take a quick look. Last year, let's see how many quarterbacks threw 40 touchdowns. 3. 3 quarterbacks threw 40 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson. 3 quarterbacks threw 40 touchdowns. But your expectations for Daniel Jones this year is to throw 40 touchdowns. Come on. Let's be real. Let's give the kid a chance. A pimp, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, DK, AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Chase Claypool, DJ Chark, Cortland Sutton, all second, third rounders plus first round wide receivers have a higher bust rate than offensive line. I'm with you, man. I'm all for taking the offensive lineman in the first round this year. And if you really feel that you need to, if you need to add another wide receiver, you do it in the second. It's a deep wide receiver draft class. Template, thank you very much. Is this Daniel's make it or break it year? Is this Daniel Jones make it or break it year? Yes. I want to preface that by saying he does not need to be a finished product at the end of this year. He could still have room for growth, but he needs to grow a lot. So by that definition, yes. Does he need to be a fully formed elite quarterback? No, but he needs to take a big step up. We need to be able to see him beat good teams. We need to see him be able to make good decisions in big spots. If he does that, I'll be happy. Does he need to be Peyton Manning, Pat Mahomes? No, but he needs to improve this year. So yes, I would. If he does not improve this year or even regresses, it would be very alarming. I think at that point you have to start thinking about getting another quarterback. So by that definition, I'll say yes. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And Ligma, man, thank you very much. He says, look out for DeMonte Coxey, late round sleeper at wide receiver. Ligma always updates me with these these late round prospects. But Ligma, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, my man. Let's take a quick look. And let's see. I think we're caught up. I think we just got DJ Smooth, and then we're good. DJ, man, thank you very much. He says 30 to 40 with the weapons we have. This is breakout. I think 30 is reasonable in a 17-game schedule. I think again, I don't care about the stats, though. I always say that. I could care less what the guy's stats is. To me, it's about situational play. How does the guy play in the big spots? How does the guy play when the game is on the line? Yeah, I'd love for him to throw 35 touchdowns. I don't care about stats. To me, a lot of times stats are misleading. How does the guy play when he goes up against good defenses? The number one objective for a quarterback, in my opinion, is not to piss the game away. Okay? So, like he did last year in the second half, that was good. Now I need you to make some big plays in big moments. I'm not going to put a stat minimum on Daniel Jones. I'm not going to do it. I want to be objective. I want to watch him play. I want to see him grow as a quarterback. Of course, numbers lend to that, but I'm not going to say if he doesn't get 30 touchdowns, it's a complete failure. I'm not going to say that. A+ free edge. I agree with you. Dave Gettle, God, my man. What's up there, Johnny Kelly? And Best Impact says he needs to make the playoffs. That is all. Stats will show up if he makes the playoffs. Make the playoffs and we'll all be happy. What do you think of the guy from Notre Dame? I like him. The only thing I worry about him, Karamoa, the only thing I worry about him, man, and everybody loves this guy. The guy weighs like 205 pounds. The guy's a little baby. And not personality-wise, but he's small, man. I worry about that a little bit, but he's fast, and he's definitely a prospect that a lot of people like. Josh, man, thank you very much, man. Don't care about stats. I care about wins. I agree. I agree. I don't care about stats. This isn't fantasy football. I care about W's. Template, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, I'd like to also see him use his feet a little bit more instead of standing so stagnant under Jason's playbook. Yeah, I'd like to see him more out in space, play action rollouts, RPOs. We did use, before he got hurt, we did use the RPOs a lot last year, actually, but he got hurt. I mean, I think part of it, later in the season, yeah, you saw him standing around a lot, but some of it maybe is Garrett's playbook, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he was not close to 100%. And they even admitted that after the fact. Judge admitted that. Daniel Jones admitted that. He was not close to 100%. They kind of had to change the playbook, due in large part to that he wasn't as mobile as he was earlier in the season. So a healthy Daniel Jones, I expect to see designed RPOs, getting him out in the pocket. I think they'll do that. DJ Smooth, man, thank you very much. Did you just say that Josh Allen was going to break out? No. Although I will say I called it last year. I don't know how he could break out. He was a top 5 quarterback. But you go back, watch my video. I did a video on it. The 5 quarterbacks the 5 quarterbacks that have the best chance to break out in 2020, and I got ridiculed by a lot of people in the comments. Josh Allen was my number 1 pick. Number 2 was Baker Mayfield. Both of them had pretty good years. OGR, man, thank you very much, man. I always love when you get fired, Chris. You're the man. I agree. We care about W's as well. Screw stats. Stats are meaningless to me, OGR. Stats are meaningless to me. Obviously, stats attribute to wins. If the guy's putting up unbelievable stats, I don't care about stats. I don't care about stats. I care about W's. That's the only stat I care about. And the most important thing for a quarterback, OGR, keep the football in your hands. Don't fumble. Don't make stupid turnovers. Keep your team in the game and make the big plays when they need to be made. That's what you could say about Eli Manning. That's what he used to do. OGR is the freaking man, dude. Cannot wait to see you at the tailgate next year. Michael, man, thank you. And there is Neo. Michael, man, what's going on, man? I appreciate it. He says, LO, I said that about the O-line last year when we took 3 in one draft. Hernandez in the second, prior plus Solder and Zeitler. But here we are again. I go Waddle. Then draft an offensive guard round 2. But if not Waddle, rather not waste a pick on a wide receiver. Listen, I'm not going to flip out. It's kind of like Simmons last year for me. I wouldn't have flipped out if we took Simmons. I wanted the lineman. Depending on what we do in the rest of free agency, as of now, I think I want the lineman. But I'm not going to flip out if we take a wide receiver. Yuri, man, thank you very much. Can't wait for the draft so we can see an EDP reaction. I don't want an EDP. If I give an EDP reaction, that means that I'm not happy with the Giants pick. I want to be smiles ear to ear. What did I say last year during you saw the green screen? I had the phone out. Give me the Molly. Give me the Molly. Everybody thought I was talking about drugs. But Yuri, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And let's see. Who we got? DJ Smooth, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Don't you want MVP? Of course I want. Well, what's more important? What's more important, an MVP or a Super Bowl? What's more important? I don't care. I don't care if we have MVPs. How many Giants have won the MVP? I know Lawrence Taylor did. I don't care about MVPs. You know, you want to hear a good stat? I don't remember the amount of years. It's been forever since an MVP's won a Super Bowl. I care about Super Bowls. I don't care about MVPs. I don't care about individual accomplishments. I care about team accomplishments. MYG, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, do you think Jason Garrett will join us in this century and start to send some guys into motion pre-snap? I think you're going to see more flavor in this offense this year. I think that's why they brought in some of the guys they did. I think that's why they made Kitchens have a higher role. Kitchens, you saw what he did with that 2018 Browns offense when he was the play caller. It's why he got the head coaching job, did a really good job. So I think you will see more flair to this offense. I definitely think you're going to see more deep shots. So, yes, I think you'll be happier with the offense this year, in my opinion. David, man, thank you very much. Hey, Chris, if Jason Garrett fails, can you see Drudge bringing a former New England guy, maybe a guy like O'Brien, to be the offensive coach? Anything's possible. My first guess would be Kitchens. Yeah, Kitchens and him go way back. Kitchens is a former offensive coordinator. Kitchens got a raise this year in terms of his importance. He went from a tight ends coach to, I think, basically an offensive coordinator assistant. So what I'll tell you is it's possible. They could definitely bring in an outsider, but if I had to guess, I think Kitchens would get the job if they moved on from Garrett. Tudo, my man, he says, ciao, my paisana. How you doing, fella? Just tuned in to Taina Nation to check the weather and sit. Seems the temperature is rising in the Giants building. It's heating up. Forget about it. And by the way, anybody that has not done so, if you have hurt yourself watching this stream, maybe you're punching yourself in the face, you can't stand my accent, you hate when I say stand up, maybe you're so excited that you hurt yourself about New York Giants free agency, maybe you pulled a groin, check out the official sponsor of the channel, Faruqi and Faruqi. Personal injury lawyers, man. Can't say enough for them for doing everything that they do for the channel. But there you go. And I think somebody pre-stream asked if I would consider doing like a bar meetup. That's something I absolutely plan on doing once things normalize. To watch a game, definitely want to do something like that. Max, man, thank you very much. Would you trade Ingram to free cap space for a proven starter like Turner or Clowney? And what would we get in a trade? I think a trade for Ingram, you're getting at best a third. I don't think you're getting that though. I think maybe a fourth you'll be able to get for Ingram. I would like a third. I'm definitely not trading for anything less than a fourth. But if you did that, sure, it would clear up $6 million of cap space this year. And if I had an extra $6 million to spend after we got a Dory Jackson, yeah, I'd probably try to get a guy like Trey Turner. I think that makes sense. So yes, if you could do that, yes, that'd be great. If you were able to free up that cap space and use it on an offensive lineman, yes. If you wanted to come here, of course, ties to get him would help. And Zahai, man, thank you very much. Back home in New York, great weekend in Pennsylvania, beautiful weather. Just wanted to say, hope everyone is having a great time. And I just ordered a Saquon jersey. This draft is going to be really interesting. Can't wait. That's right. You told me yesterday you were out, I think, with your friends riding bikes. It's nice weather today in New York. But glad to see you back, my man. DJ Smooth, man, he says, how do you rate Mahomes, Brady, and Rodgers stats right or wins? Wins. Oh, I mean, but okay. But you're talking about two different things. DJ Smooth. I don't care where Daniel Jones is ranked in the quarterback hierarchy. I don't care if he's the 15th best quarterback if we're winning games. I could care less. So, yes, in terms of where I rank quarterback, sure, stats come into play. Deshaun Watson, what would I rather have? I let the chat answer this right now. As a New York Giants fan, what would you rather have? Deshaun Watson last year, who had one of the 3 or 4 best statistical years in the league and win 4 games? Or would I rather have Ryan Tannehill and win 11 or whatever he won? I'll take the wins if I'm a fan of a team. I don't care about my quarterback stats. I could care less. I don't care. I want wins. And thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And MY Giants 26, man. Thank you very much, man. He says, if Adoree is good, can we have a top secondary? Yes. I think we could have one of the best secondaries in the NFL if Adoree is good. We already have a great safety, a bunch of safeties. We already got James Bradbury. You add him, I think we could have one of the best secondaries in the NFL next year. And by the way, Pete, I'm not saying I would take Ryan Tannehill over Deshaun Watson. That's not even a comparison. That's not what I was saying. I'm taking Deshaun Watson all day, every day, 10 days a week. What I am telling you as a fan, I don't care how good my quarterback is if it's not resulting in wins. Okay? And it goes for Daniel Jones. If the team's winning football games, I don't care if Daniel Jones is not posting gaudy stats and winning MVP awards. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Are you winning football games? Jimmy Garoppolo brought a team to the Super Bowl because the 49ers had a really good team. They had a great defense. They had a good offensive line. They were able to run the football. They had a great coach, in terms of Shanahan, that was able to motion players, get players open. Jimmy Garoppolo's an average quarterback at best. I don't care about individual accomplishments as a fan. I care about the team. I care about how the team performs. And Grim, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And Chris says, please do not sign Adoree. Why would I not want to sign Adoree? Why would I not want to sign Adoree? And Grim, man, thank you very much. Could see them targeting a speedy slot type wide receiver next year. Could cut Sterling with a $4 million dead cap it. Waddle or Rondell Moore. I love Rondell Moore. The only thing I got to worry about, the only thing I got to worry about with Rondell Moore is his injuries. But I think he's like you said. I think he's a really good gadget player in a way. You can play him in the slot. You can play him a bit at running back. In my opinion, you can get creative with him. I like him a lot. If we were attacking wide receiver in the second round, I think it would bring a different dimension to this offense. So, yeah, I think he's a good second-round target if you're planning on going wide receiver in the second. Taco, thank you very much. Did you see what I sent about Rousseau? I did not. But it's going to be hard for me to see it right now because I got about 50 notifications. Yeah, I'm going to have to look after him. There's no way I'm going to be able to find that right now. But thank you very much, my man. Waddle definitely not falling in the third round. No chance. Waddle's not getting past pick 15. If Waddle's there, New England's taking him, in my opinion. If we pass on him. Slater in the first. ECK, I'm not going to cry about that. That's for sure. Yeah, that's a good comparison, Stan. I like that. Percy Harvin. That's a good comparison. Adam, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, hey, love your content, man. Have you heard any news on Adoree Jackson since your last vid? Still worried the Eagles might snag him. There's been several people on Twitter making it sound like the New York Giants are the favorites to get him. Jordan Renan, I'll pull this up right now. I don't think I pulled it up in my video. Jordan Renan, of course, the beat reporter for the New York Giants on ESPN. This was his tweet an hour ago, a little more than an hour ago, right here. He said, could say this pretty confidently at this point. The Giants are the favorites entering Sunday to land Jackson. Now let's see how the visit goes. So that's obviously a guy that I trust. I mean, he's got insider contacts for ESPN. He was right on about the salary cap. According to him, Adoree Jackson, the New York Giants, as of now, are the favorites to land him. Doesn't mean they're going to get him, but they're the favorites to land him. Taco said I just sent it again. Is it a private message or is it a at? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's see what Taco just sent me. Hold on. Taco just sent me something about Gregory Rousseau. I've spoken to some personnel folks, and they think if the Giants land Golladay and Miami edge rusher Greg Rousseau is on the board, you go in that direction. I like who wrote that though. Oh, who wrote that? I don't know who wrote that. Was that Patricia Traina? I don't know who wrote that, but interesting. Eagles are trash. What's going on? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. And DJ Smoothman, he says, so you're not putting pressure on DJ for wins and stuff? Of course. I'm not saying he's got to be he can't be trash. Of course, but I'm not going to say he's got to have a 30, he's got to have a Pro Bowl year. I'm not saying that. He's got to win games. He's got to win games. He's got to win games. He's got to beat good teams. He's got to make the plays when they need to be made. That's what I'm saying. But am I going to say he's got to be a guy that puts the team on his back? No, win football games. That's what I care about. Hub Twitter? You talking about the Hub, the YouTuber? I mean, he has insider information? Not that I know of, but I'll look at it. I made a little meme. Maybe we're not talking about the same Hub because he has nothing right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Patricia Trainer wrote it, yeah. And JD, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, do you think the Giants will draft a quarterback in the later rounds because next year's class is not good? No. I think we got our backup. I think we signed him. I don't think we only have 6 picks. I don't think we could afford to use one of our picks on a backup quarterback, especially being that we just signed Mike Glennon. So my answer is no. I don't think they'll be drafting a quarterback. Could they? Sure. But do I think they should? No. I do not. I think you got to find out if Jones is your guy. So I'd say no to that. Oh, so it was just people trolling me with Pornhub. Is that what that was? Ha 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 ha. Real funny. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. Feel like we need a quarterback that's clutch and has balls. Hopefully he becomes that this year, my man. Let's give him the chance though. Faruqi is in the chat. I don't think that's actually Faruqi, but it says Faruqi for the win, 100% official sponsor of the channel. What's going on, Faruqi? How much do we save if Ingram is traded? $6 million. He's a $6 million hit this year on the 5th-year rookie extension. Let's see. I've officially changed my mind about taking Waddle 11. We have way bigger needs on this team. My dream scenario in the first, Slater, Tucker, second round, Terrace Marshall, third round's real. See, I like Terrace Marshall, but now that you got Golladay, if we were going to bring in another receiver, Jeremy, and again, I like Terrace Marshall, but if you were going to bring in another receiver at this point, I think I would rather go for a guy like Rondell Moore. I feel like Golladay and him are very similar. I think I would go for a different type of skill set. MYG, thank you very much. I have nothing but confidence in the defensive coaching staff to teach and get the best out of players. I would love it if they drafted Rousseau and let work his magic. Hey, if I'd understand it. Let's put it that way. And I agree with you about the coaching staff. I definitely think that Patrick Graham demonstrated last year, if you could get a guy in here with upside, he's got the ability to get the most out of him. So I definitely understand the theory for bringing in a guy like that. W. Climber, thank you very much. If we get AJ, do we go O-line in the first 2 rounds? It's hard to say. Here's what I'll say. I could confidently say we'll take an O-lineman in one of the first 2 rounds. I confidently say that, unless we address it in free agency. But even then, I still think there's a good chance we take a offensive lineman in one of the first 2 rounds. Both, I'd probably lean no. But I think one of the first 2 picks, yes. Stephen, thank you very much. Chris, serious question. Which cup has the coffee? Yeah, I grabbed that. I did that yesterday, too. The Panda Cup has the coffee. Panda Cup. I don't know if you can see it, but probably not. And I don't want to drop it on my computer, so I ain't going to tilt it anymore. But there you go, the Panda Cup. But thank you very much, man. I did the same thing yesterday. I went to drink out of the wrong cup a couple of times. I got to bring them both upstairs. DJ Swoop, thank you very much. Questions. This is it for the regime, right, Chris? What do you mean it? I mean, if they win 4 games, yeah, I think you blow it up. If they don't at least, minimum 500 this year, yeah, you blow it up. John, man, thank you very much. If in the second Davis and Creed are available, who would you take? I think I would take Davis. Yeah, I think I would take Davis. I like Gates at the center. I think I would take Davis, John. But let's see what they take. Chris, check Nick Voltoro. He works for CBS. Okay, I'll take a quick look. Nick Voltoro, he's got 628 followers. He says, I have a good feeling the Giants are going. It's just his opinion. I have a good feeling the Giants are going to get Adoree Jackson. The way these contracts have been structured and the cap gymnastics done by the New York Giants front office. I mean, I agree with him. He's not breaking any news, but I agree with him. I have confidence that we're going to get him too. My man. But Taco, thank you very much, buddy. Michael, man, thank you very much. How do you take your coffee? It depends, Michael. It depends on the mood I'm in. If my dog's jumping all over me and annoying me to take her out for the walk, which she usually instantly does the second I wake up, I usually just drink it black because I'm like, the hell with this. I got to down this thing. I don't have time to put milk in it. I don't put sugar in it. But when I have time to sit down, relax, I put milk in it. And Kaderic, man, thank you very much. How's your day going? It's going good, man. I'm going to probably end this around 5:15. Then I'm going to head over to my friend's house for a barbecue and get to hang out with them for a bit. I haven't seen them in a while, so looking forward to that. And, yeah, it's going well, man. New York Giants free agency has been fantastic, and I'm hoping we end up with one more big piece today. That'd be friggin' sick. We'll see if it happens. Tudo, man, thank you very much, man. He says, would you please call the Eagles organization and let them know that Faruqi and Faruqi only represent the personal injuries and not mentally retarded? I'm going to have to talk to Faruqi and Faruqi, Tudo, but I think if I remember from our initial conversation, they did say, yeah, if an Eagle fan comes to us with a personal injury, we kick them out. That's why I actually partnered up with them. They actually told me that they're the ones that give Eagle fans personal injuries. So that's why I decided to partner up with them. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, man. And Joel, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, say no to Jackson would trade up for Surtain. Would you trade up for Surtain? I've been on record as saying I'm not trading up for Surtain. I'm not trading up for anybody. I don't want to trade up in the first round. I want to stay where we are. I think there's a lot of talented prospects in this year's class. So I don't want to trade up, period. I would like Surtain, and I think we could draft him. I think we would draft him if we don't get Jackson or a cornerback in free agency. I think we would draft him. That's my prediction. But I would not trade up for him. Stephen Lilly, man, thank you very much, man. Are Plumber's barbecues the best barbecue? Yes, they are, but this is not. I assure you, this is not the plumber. I'm not going to the plumber's house today. Do I see Lloyd in here? What's going on, Lloyd? Man, thanks for popping in the stream. Jamie says, hope you're well, man. Keep up the good work. Loving life here in representing Big Blue in the UK from across the pond. Jamie Anderson's the man, dude. Always talks to me on Twitter. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I can't tonight. I'm going to miss the Knicks game tonight. This is going to be the first Knicks game I miss since their first 8 games of the year. I think I missed a couple. I I can't tonight. Yeah, I had plans, so I can't do it. It's good. I'll be right back at it though with the next game, and maybe if I'm back early enough, maybe if they're still playing, maybe I'll call the second half, but probably not. I'm probably not going to rush. But if I'm back, maybe I'll call the second half, but I doubt it. Yeah, you and me both, man. Can't wait to the draft. Oh, cannot wait, man. Cannot wait to see what we do in the draft this year. By the way, Big Bad Sports Talk has got a channel as well. He's trying to get off the ground. He makes good content. Go check him out. NFL rumors now. Somebody's saying NFL rumors. All right, let's take a quick look at NFL rumors. NFL rumors. Now, again, they don't have the check mark, but they do have 30,000 followers. And I think if I remember correctly, they were one of the first to report about us getting Galladay. But this is what they're reporting right now. NFL rumors on Twitter. Giants pushing to sign Adoree Jackson today. Hashtag NFL, hashtag NFL rumors, hashtag New York. That was at 3:54. That was 2 minutes ago. And we'll see if they get him. We'll see if that's true and if they do, in fact, get him. So there's what you were referring to. Let's see. It would be amazing if we get him. And Trevor, man, thank you very much. He says, if we get Jackson, we need more pass rush. Old July. Hey, man, I know you're pushing for him. We'll see if we take him, man. What's up, BX Universe, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What's up, BX? Danny Dime says, I told y'all. Did you see what Adoree's agent commented? Yeah, something on Instagram that he liked a comment or something about the Giants and his client, something like that. It's not. There's never any dumb questions. Yes, he is a cornerback, and he would play cornerback for the Giants if we got him. Let's get greedy, JC said. I'm gonna tell you right now, we need to get this hashtag going. I started hashtagging on Twitter today. Anybody that has Twitter. And I'm not the one who made this up. There's a couple of guys on Twitter who made this up, so I don't take credit for it. If the New York Giants end up getting Adoree Jackson, I need to see that too. I need to see hashtag Gettle God. If we end up with Adoree Jackson and this free agency period, I need to see Gettle God spammed all across Twitter for the free agency period that he had. Hashtag Gettle God. And what's going on there, Al, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. He says, you're the best trade back scenario. Round one, always a little thumbs up. Yeah, let me just try to pull that up for you real quick. As far as the trade back scenario round one, I actually made a video on that. Didn't get a ton of views because it was probably way too early to start talking about that. I talked for the first off, the only way I could see us being because that's how you got to look at it. Like, you may look at it as like it's an ideal trade back scenario, but it has to be an ideal trade up scenario. So the only way where I could see us being attractive for another team to move up is if one of the top four quarterbacks is still on the board. And if that takes place and there's a good deal out there and we feel like we could still get the guy that we really like at that team spot, some of the trade scenarios, I could see the Patriots. I could see the Bears. I think those are the two most logical. You could say Washington, but the Giants wouldn't trade with Washington. I could see the Patriots. I could see the Bears. I think the Bears pick at 21, and I think the Patriots pick at 15. I think those are the most logical trade back scenarios. And I appreciate the kind words, Al, man. Thank you very much, buddy. And you just joined Tana's Discord. Awesome, man. Sometimes they get a little crazy, so don't hold that against me. Sometimes you'll see crazy talking there. I'm not talking that. I stick to the Giants, but there are a bunch of great supporters in there. A run-on wide receiver might also create a good trade-back scenario. Yeah, it could. Absolutely, Tom. Absolutely could. But I think there has to be a quarterback there that a team wants to come up and get if we're being realistic, if we're going to have a good opportunity to trade back. Well, the Broncos are picking in front of us, Stan. They're picking 9. So that wouldn't be a trade. That would be a trade-up scenario. Oh, and man, thank you very much. Sad stuff about Isaiah Wilson. Yeah. Well, from what I heard about Isaiah Wilson, wasn't he was like lazy last year, right? Like there was like crazy stuff about him going to parties during COVID and they were fed up with him. So they let him go, former first round pick. He was actually a guy I was interested in last year. Thankfully, we didn't get him. If we ended up taking Simmons, I was interested in him as a second round selection at the tackle spot. But yeah, I think he was with the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins ended up letting him go. And that's crazy. After 1 year, first round pick now is jobless in the NFL. Louie, man, thank you very much. Hashtag entertainer God. Doesn't sound as good. Ghetto man. He's ghetto God. But I appreciate that. Louis the man, dude. Great supporter of the channel. Joey G says, hope this don't turn into 16. Still excited for 2022. I don't think it will, because the difference between 2016 and 2022, somebody said to me on Twitter, and it got like 8 thumbs up because I did say it. They said, when we signed Odell Beckham, you were saying you can't win paying a wide receiver, that type of money. And that was based on the fact that we were already paying a quarterback money. Eli Manning was already getting quarterback money. When you have a quarterback on the rookie deal like we do right now with Daniel Jones, that gives you the ability to be able to spend more money on a wide receiver to help out that quarterback while he's on the rookie contract. When Jones gets paid, we will no longer have Golladay on this team, maybe for 1 more year. And then we'll go out there, we'll have to draft a wide receiver and hope that it works out. But that's the difference. That's the difference. As far as the salary cap in 2016 and 2022, what the major difference there is those were 5-year deals. We committed 5 years to, I think it was 5 years to Snacks Harrison. I think it was 5 years to Olivier Vernon. And I think it was 5 years to Janoris Jenkins. Maybe one was 4. Maybe the Snacks was 4. But it was 2 5-year deals and a 4-year deal. Everybody on this year's free agency and last year's free agency is 3 years or less. And you could look at the Golladay as 3 years or less, because we could easily get out of that after 3 years. It's only a $6 million dead cap hit. So I don't view it in the same situation. I feel like that one, it was longer term contracts. It was hurting future cap flexibility. This one's not nearly as bad. And to top it off with that team, we already had guys that were making a lot of money, like Eli Manning. We have a lot of guys because of the way we've drafted over the last 2 or 3 years. We've had a lot of draft picks we've built up through youth, still on their rookie salaries. So I think it's a completely different scenario. I don't think it's going to kill us with cap like it did in 2016. Are we going to have as much freedom next year as we would have? Of course not. You signed some players, but I think they'll be okay. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And let's see what we got here. John, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. What's up there, Stretch, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. John says the Giants went to the TCU Pro Day to check out Trevon Muirig's safety. I hope I pronounced that right. Do you think they are looking at him in the 2nd or 3rd round to replace Peppers? I would go no, John. I'd actually be pissed, to be honest with you, if we took a safety in the first 2 or 3 rounds. I'd be pissed. And if you're going to draft a replacement for Peppers, do it next year. I don't want to take a safety in the first 2 or 3 rounds. If you want to take one in the 5th, 6th, I don't think we have a 5th round pick. Okay. We have too many needs on this team right now. We cannot take a safety. That's one of our strongest parts of the team right now. Even if you lose Peppers next year, you still have Logan Ryan, you still have Xavier McKinney, and you still have Julian Love, who could play the 3rd safety role. So, no, not at all. No. Nate, man, thank you very much. Hi, Tana, how are you doing? After we finally sign AJ, the only players I would take at 11 are Slater or Pitts. If they are gone, we should trade back. If we could. You can't force a trade, but if we could, yeah, if we could. But there's a good chance they'll both be gone. But we'll see. Eric, man, thank you very much. So you wouldn't try signing the old lineman from Miami that got cut? Would I? Maybe. But do I think the Giants will? No. They're a team that's obviously dealt with character concerns last year from DeAndre Baker. They had 0 tolerance. I don't see the New York Giants rushing out to bring in Isaiah Wilson. Would I? Maybe. If I felt like maybe he was growing up, 1st round pick, will the Giants do it? No, they won't. Joel, man, thank you very much. Cap is for 2021. Rudolph 4.75, Golladay 4.5, Jackson 3, Booker 2.5, Ross 1.8, Glennon 988, Ragland 908. We can afford a Dory Jackson easily. Yup. That's also not factoring in Fadi, the guy that we got from Minnesota, but he's only probably about $2 million as well. And I said this in my video today, Joel. When you look at those contracts, I'll be the first to say it. We overpaid for Booker a little more than we should have. I think Booker's going to have more of a role, though, than people think, because Saquon Barkley's coming back from the injury. But we overpaid a little more than we should have. But for the people that bitch about that because the New York Giants spent an extra $1 million on a backup running back per year, I could just as easily say, okay, well, then how about you credit them for paying a backup quarterback, like you just said there, Mike Glennon, for less than $1 million a year. Colt McCoy got paid, I think, double that last year. He's a better quarterback. Glennon's a better quarterback. How about you credit the Giants for only paying Ragland less than $1 million a year? How about you credit the Giants for paying Ross with the upside that he possesses only $1.8 million a year? So if you're going to bitch that they overpay by $1 million, well, then I should say, if you're going to bitch about that, well, then give them credit for more than offsetting it with getting those guys for less than what they're worth. So I don't think that running back contract that everybody was complaining about and saying it was the end of the world affected anything. Jonah, man, thank you very much, man. I sprained my ACL yesterday. Thanks for making my day better. I'm sorry to hear that, Jonah, man. I hope you're feeling better, man. Thank you very much, man. But thank you so much for being a great supporter of the channel, man. I really appreciate it, man. Let's see what we got. Jamal, man, thank you very much. I like Farley and Surtain much more than Jackson. I mean, I probably do too. They're younger. They don't have an injury history. They have more, even though Farley's been hurt in college. But I understand doing it because it allows you to pick somebody else in the draft, shore up the offensive line. Bro, I joined the Discord and saw pictures of James Charles with the butt out in the general sports. Yeah, they're crazy, man. I can't control it, man. I can't control it. What's up there, Billy Bob, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Would Parsons be a no-brainer if no off-the-field issues? Pretty close, in my opinion. I think he fits the scheme beautifully, and I think he's the type of guy you can build your defense around. I'm in love with Parsons. When I did the film review on him, I'm in love with Parsons. I think Parsons, Parsons, if you're listening, when I say I'm in love with you as a prospect, as a linebacker prospect. I know if the accusations are true, you like men's butts. I don't love you in that way, Parsons, if you're watching. I love you as a football player. I love you as a prospect. And I think you'd be a really good fit for the New York Giants. And I think you'd fit this defense very well. If you're watching. But thank you guys so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it. What's going on there, so fan, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. I don't think Slater or Sewell will be there at 11. I tend to agree with you, Jake. I tend to agree with you, my man. And what's going on there, Big Drake, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Cookie Monster says, I love Parsons no matter what. Good disclaimer there, J Dime said. Oh, man. What's up there, Camel, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Chris scared about his own caboose, Master Production says. Oh, man, Big Drake, man. Good to see you, buddy. Chris, how much do you think Jackson would cost? I honestly have no idea. I don't know how to judge this market. I honestly don't. If it's a one-year deal, I can't see him getting more than $6 or $7 million. If it's a multi-year deal, he'd get more per year. So that's what I would say. You're Chris. What's up, man? What's going on there? No Limit TV, man. Thanks for popping in the stream. Parsons is a booty warrior. MY Giants 26, man. Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Yeah, you know what, Jake? Let me pull this one up first. Thoughts on trading Dixon and Ingram for Mahomes and Hill? You know, I'd have to think about that one, Jake, because I know Ingram drops a lot of balls, and I know he's not the best of blockers, but Dixon's important to this team, man. I mean, this offense, there has not been a more valuable player. He's gotten more playing time than anybody else on this offense with his punting skills. He's gotten a lot of practice. I think he'll improve because of that. I'd have to think long and hard about that. I don't know. I'd have to probably get a little bit more than Hill, a little bit more than Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill to do a trade like that. MY Giants 26, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. He says, Chris doesn't swing that way, Parsons. Go over to Philly. They are truly a kinky show. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And Stephen Lilly from across the pond, man. He says, yeah, Parsons, Chris, like plumber butts, female ones. All right. Alf says info on, yeah, a lot of people have been asking me. I appreciate everybody that's joined. I appreciate everybody that's just a subscriber that hits the thumbs up. You know what? Yeah, people ask me this every, it'll take me 2 seconds. I'll pull it up right now, and I'll put the link in my description for future, in my notes rather, for future use. What people ask, that way I don't kind of revert back to this. It takes me 2 seconds. I'll get it right now because a lot of people have been asking. But thank you guys so much for being here, man. I appreciate it. But where is it? It is right here, and it is right there. Let me get the link for you right here. There's the link. So if you want to check it out, you don't have to. Don't ever feel the need to do it. But I appreciate you for asking. There's the link right there. Michael, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Side note, lock up Lindor before the season. I would love to lock up Francisco Lindor before the season. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like Francisco Lindor's talking turkey with the New York Mets. I would love to get it done. I think that's going to play out till next year. Now, the good news for the New York Mets is it is loaded with free agent shortstops next year. So, again, I want to reiterate, I think Lindor is going to be here. I think they'll get the deal done. But if they don't, I was looking at it. Like the 5 great shortstops are free agents next year. So if we lose them, we'll sign one of them. I promise you that after all the shortstop prospects that we traded. So did Gallman sign with? No, not that I know of, Jeremy. I don't believe that he has yet. He's not going to sign back with the Giants, though. I'd be shocked. BX, man, thank you very much. Chris, I would think Parsons, your guy. Don't you love not those kind of holes. Big Bang, man, thank you very much. If we end up with AJ, would you give Getty an A+ for the? Yes. Yeah. How could you expect it more? This is the one complaint that people have. The realists. He overpaid $1 million for a backup running back. Okay, that's your one complaint. And outside of that, what's your complaining? Let Dalvin Tomlinson go. We all knew that he was going to do that. He couldn't afford to bring him back. Didn't make sense. That he cut Kevin Zeitler. Well, yeah, Kevin Zeitler saved $12 million on the cap, which allowed you to get guys like Galladay, which allowed you to potentially get a guy like Adoree Jackson, which allowed you to sign a guy like Kyle Rudolph. So I'm not going to say an A+ on the entire offseason. He's got more needs now that he's got to fill in the draft. Hogs, offensive line, but in free agency, damn near close to an A+. Marcus, man, thank you very much. Thoughts on trading Saquon after this year? He's got to play great. He's got to play great, and he's got to stay healthy to be able to extend him or trade him, in my opinion. If he's mediocre, I think you let him play out on the 5th-year extension, and then you make your determination then. If he's great, you have to figure out whether or not he's going to be a part of the long-term plans of your team, and if he's not, I think you do trade him. So, we'll see at the end of the year what the New York Giants decide to do. That'll be a good problem to have, though, because that would mean that he played very well. That's how you'd be able to get something of significance for Saquon Barkley. And I'm not trading him unless I'm going to get something of significance. Ligman, man, thank you very much, man. I heard Philly's getting Hopkins, Watson, Mahomes, and Kenny Galladay. Yes, you missed out on a couple of others, but yeah, Watson will be the backup quarterback. Mahomes is going to be the starter. And the Eagles, from what I heard, are also going to get Aaron Donald. They might even get Russell Wilson as the 3rd string quarterback, from what I heard. But they get a lot of players, Ligman. I don't know how they do it, man. Are you going to a Giants game next season? Yes, Daniel, I am. Yes, I'm definitely going to a Giants game next season. Might even go to 2. I might go to a road game, but I'm definitely going to at least 1. I skipped your super chat. You missed the super chat. All right, sorry, guys. Whose super chat did I skip? I saw somebody say it. I believe you missed the super chat. Thank you guys for letting me know. I appreciate it. Let me scroll up and see. I got Ligma. I got John Kim. Oh, no, I didn't. I don't think I got John Kim. There you go. Let me just make sure I didn't skip anybody else. Sorry, I met you. Once in a while, you miss one. I got the Saquon. I got the Big Bang. I think that's the one. John Kim. Okay. He says, NFL rumors said the Giants plan on signing AJ today for 14 minutes ago. Yeah, I saw that. Somebody pointed to me that earlier, about 15, 20 minutes ago. I saw that. Hopefully they're right. I mean, they seem somewhat reputable. They were the ones that they were one of the early ones on Kenny Galladay. So hopefully they're right, and hopefully we get him. And as it gets closer, I think that there's a good chance we're going to end up getting him. But we'll see. And if they do, you're going to get a car video if it's not too dark. If not, I'm going to have to tell my friend, listen, you're going to have to let me talk on my phone like this for 8 minutes talking about the move. God, thank you so much. Stand up. New member, Glenn Brown, man. Or Glenn, I hope I pronounced it right. If not, you can tell me in the member stream. Glenn or Glenn Brown, man. Thank you so much, man, for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. And thank you for being a great supporter of the channel, my man. How about trading Saquon at the trade deadline if him and Booker are playing strong? When I don't know why Giants fans are in such a rush to trade Saquon. Let's see how the guy plays. Let's see how the guy plays this year, and then let's reassess. Let's see how he plays when you got Kenny Galladay and a great offensive line. He could be dynamic. Let's see if the guy's healthy this year, but I'm not in a rush to trade Saquon yet. I'm just not. Let's see how he does. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, my man. You should get U Stadium. It's a cool app. I follow U Stadium Gonzalez on Twitter. I know he has an app. I don't have it, but I do follow him on Twitter. Bill Goldrick confirmed that we saw. Well, if anybody that was in my free agency streams last year, if there's a go-to guy, it's Bill Goldrick. The guy had about 7 followers, and somebody in my stream told me, Chris, I think it was Bigger Mike, Chris, you have got to check out Goldrick. You got to check out Goldrick. And I trust Bigger Mike. He got me excited. I think it was him and Chris Sonor. And I forgot what the news was. I think it was that the Giants were about to sign Jadeveon Clowney. Goldrick knows what he's talking about, man. Rousseau seems exactly what the Giants would look for in a pass rusher, long arms and athletic and upside. We'll see if the coach staff get the most out of him. Eddie, MYG, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. He says, how the blank and the Eagles afford all that doesn't matter. We are coming. for the NFC East. We're rolling, baby. We're rolling. I'm confident going into next year, man. I think we're gonna have a good team next year. So we're sweeping. I wish I had a broom down here. We're sweeping the Eagles this year. I'm telling you that right now, Eddie. I'm confident. Check Bad Dog's Twitter. All right, let's see what Bad Dog got to say. I'm sure it's something funny. Hold on. Bad Dog on Twitter. He just tweeted out 1 minute ago. Dory Jackson's agent. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I heard about it earlier, rather. The Giants have a high priority on signing cornerback Adoree Jackson per Jordan Schultz. Jabril Peppers and Darnay Holmes have both seen actively recruiting him. So, and then his agent, Polo Kerber, or I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. He's got the check mark. He says, just wait on it with a shh. So if that's the case, I don't want to get too excited, but we might be getting our number 2 cornerback. No, we'll see, man. Like the stream. I appreciate that. If you guys haven't done so, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. We're going to be going for about another 45, 50 minutes, and then we're going to call it a show. But thank you to everybody for being here, man. And once again, thank you guys for all the support that you guys always show. Jackson is high priority for I think we're getting him, Vinny. I really think we're getting him. Entertainer, what do you think about Daniel Jones changes his jersey to 17? Why would he do that? I don't want him to change. Keep it the way it is, man. Keep it the way it is. I have his jersey. Why would I? No, do not change it. Jaden says, Micah Parsons, hope you like that New Jersey weather. We'll see, my man. He's used to it. I played in Pennsylvania. Let's get another hog molly in the draft. Strider says, you want to do some backwards flips over Jackson. Maybe I'll pop up with some champagne tonight if they get him. Johnny, man, what's going on? He says, New York Giants among PFF's top 10 teams in improvement index after recent signings. Site says so. Now, to be fair, Johnny D, they said the same thing last year. I remember I did a video on that. I don't know if it was after the draft or free agency. PFF said we were one of the most improved teams, but also, to be fair, going into last year, the New York Giants had no talent. So it was kind of easy to improve. This year, you're improving off a better roster. And it's good to hear, man. Anthony, man, thank you very much. Chris, roses are red. The Giants are blue. I'm Italian just like you. Salute. We need a true center. Gates to the right guard. They could have liked to do. They need an interior offensive lineman. I don't care if it's a center. I don't care if it's a guard. I thought Gates played pretty well at the center spot. If they want to keep him there, I get it. Familiarity. Him and Daniel Jones. I thought he played pretty well. But if you draft the center, I'm fine with it too. You move Nick Gates to the guard. But we need an interior offensive lineman, whether it's a guard or whether it's a center. That's my take. So, I want an interior offensive lineman. Hogs, Nick the Wick says, that's right, my man. How do the Giants have, you know what, I'm going to show you. So I said in my video today, you probably didn't watch my video, which is cool. He says, how do the Giants have money for Dory or Clowney? I'm going to show you how. Jordan Renan broke it down. And this isn't completely accurate because he doesn't list the Afadi guy from Minnesota in the tweet. But this is how. The structuring of the contracts. This is what they're going against the cap this year. Projected cap hits for 2021. Kyle Rudolph is only going for 4.75. Kenny Golladay is only going for 4.5. Austin Jackson. See, that's why I mispronounced it in the video. Somebody said, why did you say Jackson instead of Johnson? And I almost did it again because I'm just reading off the tweet. Jordan Renan, you're paid by ESPN. You can't mispronounce. You can't miswrite Austin Johnson. What are you talking about? The New York Yankees? Did he play for the Yankees? I don't know. Austin Johnson, $3 million. Devontae Booker, $2.5 million. John Ross, $1.8 million. Mike Glennon, $988,000. Reggie Ragland, $988,000. That's Johnson, not Jackson Renan. But that's how they got the cap space. But thank you very much. Let's see. And Stephen Lilly from across the pond, man. Thank you very much, man. He says, roses are red. Giants are. We heard you play plumber. It's not the plumber, I assure you, Stephen Lilly. But I appreciate the support you always show. He's giving us a hint, Chris Gonzalez says. Thanks for answering, man. You got it, AJ, man. Meeting Plaxico made, well, I think he'd make anybody feel small. The guy's a giant. He's like 6'6". Let's see what we got here. Tana, since you can't stream the game, can you give us a post-game vid? The thing is, Nick, and maybe I'll watch it at his house. I don't think we are, though. I'm going to tape it and watch it. And maybe I'll have a video up tomorrow if it's appropriate. I'm going to watch the game. But I don't think I'm going to watch it while I'm there. So, yeah. I feel weird making a post-game video if I don't actually watch the game. So, probably not. But I may be back in time for the second half. And if I am, and I have enough time, if I'm back at, it's right at the start of halftime, maybe I'll go live because it takes me a little time to set up and everything else. I'm not going to rush, though. But if I am home, I may do the second half. Give me the mollies. That's right, my man. What is your dream second-round pick? Well, that all depends on what we do in the first round. But Wyatt Davis, I like a lot if we don't take an offensive lineman in the first. I like Wyatt Davis a lot. That would be my answer right now, not knowing what we're going to do in the first round. But we're going to go over all the different scenarios. Believe me, I'm going to be live a lot, doing live mock drafts with you guys. I'm going to have a number of YouTubers on the channel. That's at least what I plan to do, not just Giants YouTubers from across the YouTube platform. And we're going to talk about the first round. Maybe we'll do 2-3 round mock drafts, things like that. Jason, man, thank you very much. What do you think about bringing back Vernon? Vernon, I mean, I know he had a pretty good year last year. How old is Vernon now? He'd have to be dirt cheap for me to bring him back, but he had a pretty good year last year, although I think a lot of that production came against the Eagles. I think they played where he had a really good game. He had 9 sacks last year. But like I said, the Eagles, I'm pretty sure he had 3 of them. But he's going to be 31 next year. He's had injury concerns. The guys have played a full season since 2016. I don't even know if he's a free agent. Maybe he is. I wouldn't rush to bring him back, man. Let's put it that way. I would say no. I would say no. Him having Myles Garrett certainly helps him out dramatically. Draft me some bacon, JCS says. That's right, my man. Do you think we are done if we get AJ cheap edge? I can't see us bringing in anybody of notoriety after that. Maybe you get an affordable offensive lineman or like you said, an affordable edge. But I can't see us bringing in a high-profile free agent after that. Lorenzo, thank you very much, man. Who do you think the Giants draft? If we get Jackson, which I think we are, I like I've said again, I could see it being Kwity Paye. I could see it being Greg Rousseau if they like those prospects. I wouldn't rule that out. And then go an offensive line in the second. I could definitely see it being an offensive lineman. If Rashawn Slater falls, maybe you take somebody else. I could definitely see them drafting a guard or somebody that they intend to play the guard for sure. Or they could take a weapon, but I'm leaning that they will not do that. I think that they will go either offensive line or somewhere on defense. Maybe Micah Parsons as well. I do not think they'll take a weapon. They spent a lot of money on weapons in free agency. And JB, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Who is your favorite pass rusher in this draft? I mean, a lot of people like Adoree. A lot of people like the kid from Notre Dame. For our scheme, I completely understand Kwity Paye. I think he fits the scheme. He's not an OLB. He's kind of more like a Leonard Williams. I could definitely see him. Or you say Rousseau. I mean, I think that's what you're looking at 11 if we're taking an edge rusher. Michael, man, thank you very much, man. But I do think Kwity Paye fits our scheme. Tana, you have the night off under one condition. If Adoree signs during the stream, then these streams might be the reason signings are occurring. I'll tell you what, if we sign Adoree, here's my promise to you guys. If we sign Adoree, I'm not going to be able to. Let me ask you guys. I'm going to give you guys the option. If we sign Adoree Jackson, I'll have a video up. But if we sign Adoree Jackson, would you rather me go live late tonight or do a midday stream tomorrow? I'm not doing both. Deep Dish, thank you very much. It looks like we're getting closer to signing Jackson. Any chance we sign him today? I think there's a very good chance we sign him today. JB, man, thank you very much. I love Creed Humphrey in the second. Yeah, some people have had him. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, a lot of people say midday tomorrow. We'll do midday tomorrow if they sign him. I love Creed Humphrey in the second. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people going to the third. But yeah, another guy. A lot of people had him as a first-round prospect a couple of months ago, and maybe he still will go there if a team really needs a center. A lot of people feel like he's the best center in this year's draft class. I'd be happy with him in the second. I'd be happy with him in the third, depending on circumstance. We'll go midday. We'll go midday. We'll go midday. We'll go midday. Let's see. Make a vid tonight, then do a midday. Yeah, I'll make a vid. And here's my other question for you guys. If the news breaks while I'm at my friend's house, would you rather me do an instant reaction video on the phone? Or would you rather me wait till I get home late and upload a video with the quotes and with the scenery and everything else? What would you guys prefer? But Jeremy, man, thank you very much, man. Let's get Jackson and Clowney. There's been rumors about Clowney. We'll see, man. We'll see. You guys want the instant reaction? Do you think there will be yes, I do. I think there will be a preseason. I think it'll be 2 games probably. I think there will be 2 games probably. Instant reaction. You guys want the instant reaction? Show us the plumber. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. I mean, maybe I'll do an instant reaction one, and then I'll do maybe a video tomorrow talking about the cap space once it comes out, and maybe our cap space for 2022 and how it looks right now with all the signings once it goes through. Maybe I'll do something like that. But we'll figure it out, man. It depends when it happens. It depends if it happens at all. Chris, do you think we will be able to re-sign Saquon next season after this offseason? If they want to make it work, they can. They could structure kind of like they did this contract today, or yesterday rather, where they pay him a little bit up front the first year, and then they even it out over the length of the extension. If they want to extend, they could. Let's see what we got. GPB says midday because Adoree will sign before you end this one, and then Clowney will sign during tomorrow's live stream. There you go. Stand up. Michael says do an instant 10-minute reaction. That would be. I get the hiccups. I always get the hiccups on stream now. But yeah, I don't know if I'll go 10, but I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Tudo says, what do the Dallas Cowboys losers do on a daily basis? They watch the entertainer talk at sports. Tudo, my man, Tudo, man. Hope everything's going well. Can't wait to go over to Italy, get to meet you one day, call a soccer game. JB says, which lineman worries you the most? Oh, definitely Shane Lemieux. Definitely Shane Lemieux. And I'm not saying Shane Lemieux can't be good. You guy's a project. Definitely Shane Lemieux. He's a good run blocker. The guy can't pass protect to save his life right now. Shane Lemieux worries me a lot. And I guess Parrott, because Parrott really hasn't played that much. I actually think Hernandez isn't horrible. I'm more worried about Parrott and Shane Lemieux. I think Parrott could be good, but you don't know. And if he, and if he's not good, you hope that Nate Solder could step in and play adequately on the right side. We don't know how he is in terms of football shape. DJ Smooth, thank you very much, man. Chris, respect your opinion, nothing personal. Oh, no. Oh, you thought I was mad at you? I'm not mad. Dude, I get passionate, man. I'm a New Yorker, dude. I always say this. When I start to raise my voice, I'm not raising it at you as an individual. I'm raising it because I'm passionate. I love the team, and I'm passionate about my opinion. But I respect your opinion. I respect everybody's opinion. I'm not mad at you at all. Sometimes I get into it, man. I get into it. I like the confidence that Gettleman showed in Parrott during his press conference. He definitely did. And based on what he said, I expect Parrott to start on the right side to start the year. Chris, I just shot my shot. Give a brother some luck. Colin, best of luck, my man. Best of luck, my man. You should get one content creator from each team and set up a mock draft. That's hard. Sean, that's asking 31 other individuals to be able to go live at the same time on the same day. That's really hard. I don't see that being a possibility. Maybe get 4, 5, 6. I don't think 32 is possible. That's asking too much, man. Describe the Giants offseason so far in one word. You want it? A. There you go. A. There's your word. What's going on there, Moves, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Let's see what we got here. Home run. Yeah. Let's see. Gonzalez says, roses are red, violets are blue. I hate the Eagles and football team too. Don't forget about the Cowboys. That's right. Chris, you doing a draft simulation? Oh, I'm going to do plenty, Gary. I'm going to do a ton live. I'm just waiting until after free agency. Appreciate that, Fernando. He says, love your content, man. I love your dog. That's a dog, right? That dog's got fangs, man. Daily reminder that the Eagles need to take a quarterback because Jamar Chase won't save them. Hurts I think they're taking a quarterback. I agree with you. I say it all the time. Jake was the first one on that. I think they're taking a quarterback. Greetings from Italy. So happy when the Galladay signing happened. I was at my girlfriend's house. Well, hopefully your girlfriend didn't get too upset about you screaming like a lunatic because I'm sure that you did. We need to bench Lemieux and draft the right guard and start Hernandez again. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Do you think Xavier McKinney will start this year? I don't know if he'll be technically starting. He might be. He's going to get a lot of reps. And it depends on the team that they're playing. There's going to be certain teams where they want 3 safety sets. There's going to be certain teams where they want a more traditional look. It depends on who they're playing. But he's going to get opportunities. He's versatile. They're going to get him out on the football field. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. Clowney and Parsons, top 5 defense. I think we could have a top 5 defense without Clowney. Parsons, if we get Parsons and Adoree, I think we're going to be a top 5 defense or damn near close with Patrick Graham, man. We have our guy. That's right, Nino, man. What's going on, my man? What's up, Alphabet, man? Thanks for popping in. Masha says, Chris, what do you think we do in the first round if the Giants get jacked? A lot of people asking me this. Offensive line. That's where I'm leaning right now. Offensive line. Chris, what do you think about the Giants going after a corner if one is there instead of O-line? I feel like we need to let that O-line grow as a unit. What do you think? If we sign a Dory Jackson, will I cry if we take a corner? No. But I would sooner take an offensive lineman at that point than taking a corner. If we don't get Jackson, I'm completely on board with taking a corner in the first round. I've expressed that numerous times. But I think we're going to get a Dory Jackson, man. Thoughts on a trade back? I'm for it if it's the right trade. Allison, thank you so much. I appreciate it. She says, win-loss breakdown based on schedule, current team. Well, I don't know the order of the schedule, but I could pull up the opponents. I'll try my best. Again, this is just throwing darts at a board right now. But let me pull up the New York Giants. I know most of the teams, but just in case I forget 1 or 2 teams, let me pull up the 2021 schedule. Let's see. New York Giants schedule. Okay, so they play the Chicago Bears. They play the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, all right, division, I'm going to say 4-2. So let's leave the division out of it. I'm going to say 4-2 in the division. Is this year? They play the Bears? Oh, yeah, the Bears finished second in their division. Yeah. At Chicago, at Kansas City. Let me do the road games first. At Chicago, at Kansas City, at the Chargers, at New Orleans. And who am I leaving off? At New Orleans, at Chicago, the divisional games. But there should be 5 road games. I think they're playing Miami too. Listen, I mean, looking at it real quick, I think I'm going to go 10-7 if they have 17 games. I think I'm going to have them at 10-7 as of now. I'm going to have them at 10-7. 9-8 or 10-7, but I'm leaning 10-7. I'm leaning 10-7. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. If I want a hog, I want Sewell. Yeah, he's not going to be there. If I want a quarterback, I want Trevor Lawrence. He's not going to be there. If I want a wide receiver, I want Jamar Chase. He's not going to be there. If I, I want one. Like, you could want something. He ain't going to be there. So, 11-6. I could see it, man. I could see it. 17-0, Big Daddy says. I remember you saying that last year. 16-0 till you ain't. 17-0 till you ain't. And John Kim, man, thank you very much. If we got AJ, Graham will finally get to run his cover 1 defense and call more blitz packages. He did that. He did what he could with the roster he had last year. Very excited. I agree. That's why I've been talking about that. That's why I've been preaching it since like week 11, 12 last year. We watched this team every week, and we said they're doing such a great job with the bend but don't break. They're not getting killed in the red zone. They were the second best red zone defense in football. But I think we all expected when we brought in Graham, when we heard of what he brought to the table, we were going to be much more aggressive than we were last year. We weren't near the tops in the league of blitz frequency. I think we were middle of the pack, maybe even a little bit below it. I think Graham must be a lot more aggressive. And I think when you get a second good exterior corner, you're going to see the Giants get real aggressive. You're going to see them send the dogs. You're going to see them send a lot of different looks at opposing offenses. And I think I think getting a really good corner will take this defense to the next level. If you can get a really good corner opposite Bradbury, it's going to allow this defense to do what Graham wants to do. And it is going to be much more confusing for opposing offenses. I hope we get him because I think it'd be huge for this defense. Dan, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Out of the free agency pool for offensive linemen, who would you sign? Trey Turner, if I could. You know, I don't know how much he's going to cost, but he'd be the guy. Interior offensive lineman fills the need. Yeah. DJ Swift, thank you very much. Question: if the New York Giants want to trade, no, I'm not. I'm gonna tell you right now, and you know, everybody's got their own opinions. I am not in favor of trading up in this draft whatsoever. I don't care who the player is. I don't care if it's Chase. I don't care if it's Sewell. I don't care. I don't care. I am not in favor of trading up in this draft. We have 6 draft picks. We are limited as is. I'm not looking to give away draft picks when I know I'm going to get a good player where I'm picking. I am not in favor of trading up. You can name the player. I'm not in favor of trading up. If I'm in favor of anything, it's trading down. But me, I want to stay at 11. I want to take the best player on the board who fills the need for this football team. But I'm definitely not in favor of trading up under any circumstances. I do not want to trade up. And Michael, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, this might be a loser way of looking at it, but if Peppers helps get Kenny Golladay and now AJ here, then OBJ trade turns itself into all these players. Because we got Peppers. I mean, you could look at it like that. Listen, at the end of the day, and I don't want to relive the OBJ trade anymore. I really don't. But at the end of the day, we won the OBJ trade as far as I'm concerned. And if Kenny Golladay develops into that number 1 wide receiver, I don't want to hear about I don't want to hear about OBJ anymore ever again. Because that's the only complaint at this point in time. You know, when you make a trade, you got to give up something to get something. The New York Giants gave up a high-end wide receiver to help improve their defense. That gave them the cap space to be able to sign a guy like Blake Martinez. And they brought in, of course, Dexter Lawrence. And, of course, they brought in Peppers. So they improved their defense dramatically. You saw it pay off last year. And they took a hit at the wide receiver position. If Kenny Golladay produces like a number 1, I don't want to hear about OBJ. I'm done with OBJ. He's not a Giant. Hasn't been a Giant for a long time. Don J, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, Deshaun Jackson for depth. After taking either Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith, what do you think of that? I hate Deshaun Jackson with a passion. He's one of my least favorite players in the history of the NFL. I think he is. I get nightmares with that guy with the punt return and everything else. I mean, I'm good. That guy, he is hit or miss. That guy gets hurt way too much now, and he's a guy that gives you 1 or 2 really good games, and he sucks the rest of the year. We kind of got that already with Ross. We've got that speed guy. Nah, I'll pass. I don't want Deshaun Jackson. DJ Swift, thank you very much. Question, will you flip out if we did trade up? Do you want to see me flip out? Depending on what the trade is. Last bet, thank you very much. Penei Sewell is good. Trade up, no, even if he needs work. I love Penei Sewell. I don't want to. Maybe if he drops to 7 or 8. I'm not trading up into the top 5 to get Penei Sewell. You'd have to give up a ton. You'd have to give up a future first-round pick. You giving up a future first-round pick to jump from 11 to 5? I'm not. If he drops to like 8 and you feel like you're scared Denver could take him and you want to get him, fine. If you don't got to give up a ton to move up and get him. But am I jumping into the top 5 from 11? No, I'm not. I don't do that unless it's for a quarterback. And DJ Swift, thank you very much. OBJ was the dumbest trade. Get him, it's full. I'm not going to talk about the OBJ trade anymore. But my opinion on the OBJ trade is set in stone. You're not going to change my opinion. It was a trade. It was a trade that got a lot of hate. It was a trade that people bash Gettleman for doing it, and it's a trade that in the end worked out. That's my opinion on it. And had you waited longer, you would have gotten even less for him. That's my opinion on it. We won the trade. Richard, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, you do Knicks game. Unfortunately, Richard, I can't do it. It's the only Knicks game I think I'm going to miss all year. Can't do the Knicks game today. I said it on Twitter today. I said it in my video today. I'm going to a friend's house tonight. I have plans tonight. So that's the only reason why I'm not doing the game. I'll definitely be back for the next one. I know you show up for all the streams, and I appreciate it. I may be able to do the second half, but don't bank on that. I don't know when I'm going to be back. But but maybe I might be able to do the second half, but I'm going to miss the Knicks game today. He says, Mitch play tonight. Yes, hope the Giants do good on paper. Now play the game. Yeah, I heard Mitch might be back tonight. Is that confirmed? Is Mitch playing tonight? And I know D Rose is not playing. Originally, it was said that he might be playing, then came out that he's not playing. So Rose will be back real soon, though. And I heard Mitch is going to be back real soon. If Mitch is back tonight, I assume he's not going to get starters minutes. They'll probably ease him back in. Shane, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, how do we feel about the O-line right now? How do I feel about the O-line right now? It's still got holes. I think they'll be much better than last year. I think they definitely showed growth last year as the season wore along. But it's still got a lot of holes. We still need to improve it. I still think we need at least one more piece on that offensive line, and the young pieces have to grow. So it's not a finished product, but I think it'll be improved this year. I think Andrew Thomas takes a big step up this year. But it's, Deegan says it's trash. I don't know if I would call it trash, but it's definitely not good yet. Let's put it that way. It's not near where we need it to be. I factor in that I think they showed growth over the second half, that they're young, and I think they'll improve this year. But we need at least one more really good piece on that line, maybe two. DJ Swoon, man, thank you very much. Then why pay him? Simple. Why did they pay? Because if you didn't pay him, you wouldn't have been able to trade him. The guy only played 4 games the year before. He was a free agent. What were you going to trade? What were you going to take and trade Odell Beckham and get like a 3rd-round pick for the guy after nobody knew whether or not he was going to be healthy and could play? No, in my opinion, the Giants, I'm not saying that they signed him to trade him, but I think they signed him knowing if he didn't clean up his act and they didn't want him on the team anymore, that they'd be open to trading him. And they also knew his trade value was not that high coming off a year in which he had a serious injury and only played 4 games. So there's your answer. Juicy, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, did Davey get replaced because RGM is making money appear out of thin air? Is amazing. O-line and depth will be the focus going into April. I'm pumped. Well, I think that they're trying. No, I think Gettleman is doing this because he realizes that Daniel Jones is approaching the end of his rookie contract, and he needs to start to try to accelerate this process and give themselves an opportunity to compete under the rookie deal. That's when teams have the best opportunity to win. And I think that's why he's doing it. They have a more developed team now, and now he sees the opportunity. And again, I want to stress these are not long-term deals either. Leonard Williams is a 3-year deal with the ability to get out after 2. And Galladay's a 4-year deal with the ability to get out after 2. So I think they're smart signings, but I think he's being aggressive because he needs to be. He sees that Daniel Jones is approaching the end of his rookie deal, and they've got a 3-year window now to make the most out of it. Taco, man, thank you very much, man. Check Christopher Reese. All right, let me take a quick look on Twitter. Christopher Reese. What did he say? He said, Adoree Jackson just commented on an Instagram post and said, just wait on it. Well, that's not Adoree Jackson. That's the same one people have been talking about. That's not Adoree Jackson. That's false information. I mean, he probably doesn't know. I don't think he's trying to lie to people. But that's not Adoree Jackson. That's Adoree Jackson's agent. Maybe he forgot to write the word agent. But it's Adoree Jackson's agent, not Adoree Jackson. DJ Swoop, thank you very much. Gettleman is a snake for that period. Okay. Okay. I get it. Some people are never going to forgive him because they're Odell Beckham fans. I'm a New York Giant fan. I root for the jersey. I don't root for the player. Let's see what we got here. I know we will most likely take best player available at 11, but could that mean Waddle if they're real? Yes, it could. It could, Elias. It could. If they feel he is the best available player. Watch Top Billen's new video about the Giants. I'll take a look when I can, man. DJ Swoop, thank you very much. Where the hell was the GM you loved so much at when OBJ didn't get a 2 or 3 year deal? What do you mean? What do you mean? OBJ got a 5-year deal. They gave him a 5-year deal. They gave him $90 million over 5 years. And then they traded him. I don't know what you mean by that. They weren't going to be able to retain him if they gave him a 2-year deal. They knew that, if that's what you're getting at. And I think they always left open the option to be able to possibly trade him. He wasn't coming back on a 2-year deal. I don't know what you mean by that. And White, Juicy, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, I honestly enjoy having a head coach that draws in players. Yeah, and I think the team improving. I think the atmosphere, I think the players like playing for him. You could tell they're going out there trying to recruit players. And they're trying to build this team up. And yeah, I think Joe Judge is a positive. I definitely think players are coming here due in large part to Judge. That's why Logan Ryan came here. There's no doubt about it. That's definitely why Logan Ryan came here. And Logan Ryan's a guy that's liked around the league. And he may be assisting in trying to draw in other players. I definitely think that you saw it last year. Ebner, same thing from the Patriots. He came here, he said it, due in large part to Joe Judge. People like playing for Joe Judge. And that's good. That's good to have players wanting to come here and buy into the system. Duncan, man, thank you very much. He says, if Chase drops due to Devontae Smith's hype, would you take him over one of the top tackles? Yeah, somebody asked me that yesterday, Duncan. That's the one guy I think I would. Because I think Jamar Chase is unbelievable. I think he's the best receiver. And at that point, I think he would be way higher than anybody else on my board. So that's the one player I think I'd bend the rules, but I don't think he's going to be there. I really don't. Juicy, man, thank you very much. We don't have this offseason with Shermer. I agree with that. I agree with that. Zahai, man, thank you very much. At 11, I think Waddle is still at play, but I'd highly consider one of the top O-linemen. What do you think? Oh, I'm on the O-line train. I'm on record as saying that right now. I was not before because I didn't think we were going to be able to get Kenny Golladay. We did. I'm on the O-line train, my man. I am on the O-line train in the first round. Les, man, thank you very much. If you had to pick Slater, Farley, Surtain, or Pitts, well, if we get the corner, I'm not taking the corner. And at that point, I think I'm taking Slater over Pitts. I mean, unless we trade Ingram, how could I draft Pitts? How could I draft him? We just signed Kyle Rudolph. If we trade Ingram, it opens up that possibility. But with the current constructed roster, if we end up getting a Dory Jackson, out of those four, I'm taking Slater. Can we get Clowney and Adoree? It's possible. It's possible if he's willing to come here on a really cheap contract. Robert, man, thank you very much. We have a top 10 defense, and we did everything we can to do at offense so far. Do you think we can win this division? 100%. I think we can win the division. 100%. I think we can win the division. I think it's a disgrace that Vegas has the New York Giants as plus 500. I think it's a joke. I think it's a disgrace. An absolute joke. I think we're well in play for the division. Trudeau, man, thank you very much. All right. It's time to come back home to Italy. To HB, a nice medium rare steak with A1 sauce and ice cold Peroni beer and cold soccer games. Trudeau, man, appreciate you always popping in, man. Richard says, who else calls games like you do? Good jobs, know how to do it. Get a job on ESPN. Hope the Giants get the O-line. Maintaining defense, be okay. Wide receiver, just get the O-line okay. I appreciate that, Richard, man. Hey, maybe I will. You never know. Maybe ESPN will come calling and say, nah, man, I can't leave YouTube. But I got my audience, man. I got the taint of followers. I can't do it. Pete, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Waddle's on everyone's radar, but I think Smith could be a gold jacket. I just don't think he could fake what he did in the SEC West. Those defenses are the best in college. His size didn't matter at all. He could be great. I mean, definitely could be great. The guy won the Heisman Trophy. The guy was a beast this year. Caught for over 1,700 yards. He could be great. I definitely recognize the concerns due to his size, but he could be great. And if the Giants, like I said, if Gettleman grades these guys that, like Devontae Smith is so much better than anybody else wherever they're picking, who am I to say don't take the guy? If the guy's a gold jacket player and you can still argue that it's a need, especially for the future, take him. Fine. You better focus heavily on the offensive line going forward. Thomas, man, thank you very much. Getty deserves credit for letting Judge build the roster. I think it's a collaboration. I think it's a collaboration. I think they work collectively. And what do good GMs do? They find players that their coaches could get the most out of. So I think you should work with your coach. I see no problem with that. Do I think Joe Judge is the only guy making these decisions? Absolutely not. I think Gettleman is involved in these decisions. But I think that's a good thing. I think he should get his coach's say in who he should bring in. I think it's a good thing. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. I meant he didn't give a 2 to 3 year because Odell Beckham was in his prime. Odell Beckham wasn't going to take a 2 or 3 year deal. There's no chance Odell Beckham would have taken a 2 or 3 year deal. You don't think he would have liked to sign him to a 3 year deal? Odell Beckham wasn't taking a 3 year deal. I promise you. Juicy, thank you very much. Everyone on the division outside of Washington is a joke. Dallas will be in cap hell for the next 3 years, and Philly is burning on the roadside. I think Washington and the Giants are the future of this division right now. I still like what Washington's built. I obviously don't like it, but I think they're building well. It's going to come down to whether or not they could get a young quarterback, but I think they got a good defense. But I think the Giants in Washington are setting themselves up very well. Patrick, man, thank you very much. Agree with the O-line need, but was the O-line troubles last year a product of the rookies and now preseason? I think that's part of it. I definitely think that's part of it. You also lost Kevin Zeitler, though. Let's not forget about that. But I think that's part of it. I do think that's part of it. I said that. I said that going into the year. The first 8 games, they were going to suck. I knew the offensive line the first half of the season was going to suck. Second half, they played much better. Outside of the Arizona game, they got destroyed. They got out-schemed. They got out-coached. They got eaten up alive. And I think there was another game where they played poorly. But overall, the offensive line was much better in the second half than the first. They still need help on that offensive line, in my opinion. They still need help on that offensive line. But I don't think it's going to be nearly as bad as last year. I'll say that right now. I think it'll be improved. Check Zach Rosenblatt's Twitter. He's credible. Let me take a quick look. He works for CBS Sports. Take a quick look at what Zach had to say, his latest tweet. The odds of Dory Jackson eventually signs with the Giants have increased exponentially in the last day or so per source. Darnay Holmes and Jabril Peppers are among those very much pushing for him to join them. Listen, Jake, I think we're going to get him. I think we're going to get him, man. Sticky Fingers, man, thank you very much. I want Slater if we get AJ too, but a lot of guys could drop into BPA. Hard to justify Slater without a trade back. New England at 14. I think they're at 15. But if there's a trade partner, sure, that's an ideal world. But a lot of people have Slater going top 10. I don't know why. Like, I think 11 is good value for Slater. I've seen Slater go top 5 in some mock drafts. Robert, man, thank you very much. I'm military. Me and my guys are always watching you. Keep it up, brother. Who do you think will draft in the first? Robert, man, thank you for your service for the country, man. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for supporting the channel. Can't say thank you enough. If we end up getting a Dory Jackson, I think we're going offensive line. That's where I'm leaning right now. And I think it would be, if he's there, I think it'll be Slater. Vera Tucker's a possibility. If we don't go offensive line, I think it'll be defense. Possibly Parsons if the character concerns don't scare them. Maybe Kwity Paye or Greg Rousseau. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I do not think it'll be a weapon at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But I do not think it'll be a weapon at this point. But thank you very much, my man. I appreciate it, man. And Juicy, thank you very much. The ground game this year is looking intimidating. The ground game last year was intimidating without Saquon Barkley over the second half. Once that offensive line got going, we ran the ball very well. And a lot of that was when Daniel Jones was hurt and not a threat in the RPO. You think about a healthy Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley with that RPO, with weapons on the outside now that they have to honor, and an improved offensive line. You can do damage. DJ Smooth, thank you very much. I'm happy with the roster now, but I'm not forgiving. Well, if they win, you'll forgive. Or I hope you do. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Winning cures all, my man. How would you rate Dave's overall job since he's gotten the job as GM from 1 to 10? There have been questionable moves, but I think he's starting to do better as of late. Yeah, I mean, I'm also a guy that takes into account what he inherited. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I don't put I put a lot of the blame on him. I also put it on ownership. I think ownership wanted Eli to get another shot. That's my honest opinion in 18. I always say it. We should have started the rebuild then. We didn't. We started the rebuild in 2019. 2018 was an unmitigated disaster. It was a disgrace. It was horrible. 2019, I would say, was average. He didn't have a lot of cap space. Marcus Golden was a good signing for the amount of money that he had. Daniel Jones, we still don't know yet. Dexter Lawrence was a good pick. DeAndre Baker, obviously, you got some bad luck there. There were red flags. Darius Slayton was a good pick in the 5th round. Julian Love was a pretty good pick for a 4th-round pick. Zimenez, we'll still see. He got hurt last year. I think 2019 was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was okay. It was in the middle. 2020, I thought was damn near great. If it wasn't great, it was very, very good. Let's start with the key acquisition, Joe Judge. Dave Gettleman's got to get some credit for that. Joe Judge, okay? The coaching staff under Joe Judge is more so Joe Judge. But Joe Judge himself, you have to give credit to Gettleman there with the ownership. Whether or not he was, you got to give some credit. Then in terms of free agency, I thought the free agency period last year was dynamite. Okay, let's start with some of the moves that people don't credit. They just go to the high-profile signings last year. Let's start with some of the moves that people don't credit. One, you got Logan Ryan late in the process for pennies. Okay, that worked out beautifully on a 1-year deal. Then we ended up extending him. The Nick Gates extension is his most underrated move last year, period. Nick Gates, and people were crying about it when he did it, he extended Nick Gates before the year started in 2020. He's now only making $3 million in 2021 and 2022. due to Dave Gettleman making that decision. Had he waited, you would have to pay Nick Gates a lot more. Starting centers go for a lot more than that at Nick Gates' age. He demonstrated that he's a capable starting offensive lineman. That was a great move. Getting Marcus Golden back on that provision and then having the ability to trade him for a pick was a great move. Then you look at some of the other moves that he made. Of course, Blake Martinez, great move. James Bradbury, great move. Kyler Fackrell, pretty good move. Free agency, he was great last year. The draft, long-term approach, right? We don't know how all these guys are going to gel, but in terms of his philosophy, I agreed with it. He went heavy offensive line. It's what they needed to do last year. So last year, at least very good to borderline great. And this year, he's off to a great start with free agency. So I would say since 2018, which was a disaster, a 0 out of 10. Since then, I would say a 5 or 6 out of 10 in 2018. I would say a 9 out of 10 in last year, maybe 8.5 to 9. This year, we're off to a great start. We still got a ways to go. Juicy man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, DJ for MVP this year. Our boy has options. I ain't saying that, my man. I ain't saying that. I ain't putting those expectations on him, my man. I ain't putting those expectations on him, but he's going to be good. Big Bang, thank you very much. We signed AJ. No way, Getty. Don't grab a hog at 11. Calling it now. I'm with you, man. I think we're taking a hog. And Les, man, thank you very much. The way the game is played today, do you think DJ has to win a ship on his rookie deal? Do I think it's a must? No. Do I think it would be incredibly beneficial and it's something that you have to strive to do as a general manager and as a team to get the win on his rookie contract? Yes. With what quarterbacks get paid? Yes. And I think that's why they're trying to accelerate the process. Could you win? Sure. You have to draft very well, though, once that quarterback gets paid. Pete, man, thank you very much. Cincinnati's recent video claims Gates stinks, or Bengals recent video, and our defense is not great. And he wonders why people label him a Giants hater. He's got his opinion. And he's entitled to it. He's wrong. He won't want to hear that, but that's my opinion. He's wrong. How in the hell does our defense stink? Why? Because they don't have flashy players that he wants? Okay. Doesn't stink. And Gates definitely doesn't stink. What's going on there, LA Sports Man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. I appreciate it. Colin says, hey, Chris, I have a few signed Giants jerseys, including LT and DJ frames, are very expensive. So I was wondering if you have any advice on how to showcase them. I'm the wrong guy to ask with that, man. If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm the wrong guy to ask with that because I'm not a big memorabilia guy. I have a couple of things. I've got where the hell did I put it? I've got here it is. I've got this. When I used to be a cable technician, somebody gave this to me as a gift because we're talking Giants the whole time. This is a Stephen Baker and Joe Morris autographed mini helmet. I've got a couple other things, but I don't got anything crazy. So I'm the wrong guy to ask for that. I'm not a big memorabilia guy. But yeah. And Juicy says, I think people forget DJ was one game away from rookie of the year his rookie year due to injury, which is my only concern for him going forward. If he played all 16 games, he probably would have won rookie of the year his rookie year because he had 24 touchdowns and 12. Even with the fumbles, he would have probably thrown for close to 30 touchdowns, if not thrown for 30 touchdowns. Carlos, man, thank you very much. He says, if we sign AJ, then I say trade back and draft 2 hogs. I want to out of Wyatt Davis, Slater, Vera Tucker, or Leatherwood, back-to-back hog malleys. Stand up, New York Giants fans. I love those hogs. You know that, my man. Dick Gates wasn't good. I agree, Andy. But to say he sucks, that's false. I'm not saying he was great. He definitely didn't suck. And the defense definitely doesn't suck. Nick, man, thank you very much. Tana and Gettleman, both A+ this offseason. Thanks for keeping up the great content coming. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for all the support that you always show on the channel. And DJ Swoops says, Chris, I'm gonna be real. Getty did better in 20 and 20. He did much better in 20 and 21. You gotta be happy. I mean, I get people who hate Gettleman. You gotta be real happy in 20, in my opinion, and you gotta be really happy with the start of 21. And you want to live in the past, you want to hop in the DeLorean, you want to try to change things in the past, go ahead. Right now, the team is on a much better place than they were when he took the job. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens this year. Joel, man, thank you very much. Can Dave Gettleman and Judge be better than Reese and Coughlin? That's asking a lot. Well, here's what I'm going to say, man, and I'm not trying to bash Jerry Reese. I'm not, okay? I want to give Jerry Reese his credit. When he first took the job, He drafted very well. 2007 is a great draft. Didn't draft any superstars in that draft, but he drafted a lot of contributors to that Super Bowl team. The majority of that team is not Jerry Reese's team, though. I think we all know that, right? That was almost completely Ernie Accorsi. I mean, most of the impact players on that team were Ernie Accorsi guys. I think we recognize that. Obviously, you give full credit to Tom Coughlin. So Reese inherited. People forget. Jerry Reese inherited a team that went to the playoffs in 2005 and 2006. That was set up very well to be a very good team in 2007. That went on a miraculous run and won a Super Bowl. Dave Gettleman inherited the shit of the shit. A horrible situation. So to compare the two early on is not fair. It's what I've always said. Jerry Reese inherited a great situation. But Jerry Reese drafted well early on. 2007, 8, 9, drafted well. The team started falling apart in 2000. Even in 2011, their Super Bowl year. Go back and look at how the team played. That team started falling apart. Eli Manning and Victor Cruz carried that team. Victor Cruz, you got to credit Jerry Reese for. You found him. Jason Pierre-Paul, you got to credit him for, who was a big part of that team. Okay, I get it. But that team was starting to fall apart already. The offensive line had deteriorated at that point. They had no running game. They ranked 32nd in the NFL in running that year, 32nd in yards per carry, and the defense ranked 27th overall. Eli Manning put that team on his back that year. Okay, so Jerry was pretty good early on. He was a disaster the second half of his career. And anybody who doesn't say that is just not being fair. So if you're going to measure it by championships, probably not. I mean, it's hard to win 2 Super Bowls. But Ernie, of course, he had a lot to do with why that team was as successful as they were. So it's hard to compare situations for me. So, hi, man. Thank you very much. Let's say we win 9 games but don't make the playoffs because of standings or whatever. What would you do? I think we should keep Gettleman. If we win 9 games, I would keep Gettleman. I know some people are going to think playoffs are bust. I would keep Gettleman. That means the team improved dramatically. You got 3 more wins. And if Daniel Jones has a good year, now Gettleman may retire. You know, they brought in O'Brien from Detroit, who's got ties to Joe Judge. He may be being set up to be Gettleman's replacement. So if he retires, maybe O'Brien steps in. But if he wants to go another year and we have a 3-win improvement with what he's done this offseason, I'm completely fine. Let him stay another year. Delano, man, what's going on, my man? Sorry I'm late to hear our bro Chris say, stand up. Gettleman has improved the roster on paper, but I still hate releasing Alonzo Russell. You loved Alonzo Russell. He was a fan favorite, man. He was a fan favorite in camp that year. He had a really good camp. I was surprised when we released him. GC Black, man, thank you so much for the $2 donation. And JB King says, Cowboys fans believing we are below them in the NFC. I don't blame them for believing that. They've been above us for a while. They're getting their quarterback back. They had injuries. Second year with the coach, but I'm not worried about the Cowboys. I think we can stack up with the Cowboys. I don't think their defense is good at all. I didn't see them make any dramatic improvements in free agency. And we'll see how Dak plays coming back from the injury. So, and especially if we get a corner. You know, I talked about this on Twitter. That's another reason, you know, you always partially the reason that you draft is your division. Like last year we said it. Washington's going to get Chase Young. Well, we need somebody to block Chase Young for the next 10 to 15 years. Dallas has a ton of weapons, ton of good wide receivers. You draft a corner. That's going to help you. I think we could beat Dallas. I definitely don't think they're the class of this division. I think we're right there with them. DJ Swoon, thank you very much. My bad, Chris. I love OBJ. It hit me different, but I got to move on. Maybe Shermer is responsible for the record more than DJ. Yeah, well, Shermer didn't help. Let's put it that way. And yes, this is the other thing I'll say about Shermer. Could you fault Gettleman to an extent for the hiring of Pat Shermer? Yes. But let's also be fair. Look at the situation the New York Giants were in when Gettleman took the job. Do you think the top-tier coaches were rushing to take this job? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think they were. Who wanted to take on a job where a 37-year-old quarterback was going to man the fort? Who wanted to take on a job where the New York Giants had almost no cap space? Who wanted to take on a job where the team quit the year before under Ben McAdoo, which is why he got fired with an atrocious locker room situation? I don't think people were rushing to take that job. You got to factor that in as well. Of course, he hired Shermer. Shermer was a disaster. Shermer was horrible. GC Black, thank you very much. Rashawn Slater in the first round to play guard, Creed Humphrey in the second round to play center. Move Gates to the tackle and let Barrett and Solder battle it out. I don't mind Gates at the tackle spot. If they double up on offensive line, you're not going to see me complain. Let's put it that way, GC Black. We need it. We need this offense. We need to get this offensive line moving and grooving, man. Who else could we have gotten? I mean, at the time there was what's his name? McDaniels was a possibility if I remember correctly. He ended up taking the Colts job and then backing out of it. I think Patricia was a possibility. That wouldn't have worked out well. And there, I think what's his name? The defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, was another possibility. He didn't end up getting a head coaching job, but he was a possibility. I think there might have been another one too. Elijah, man, thank you very much. Be honest. What does Saquon have to do to re-sign? For Saquon to get extended, he's got to play. He's got to be healthy this year. He's got to play a full 16 games. He's got to produce like he did in his rookie year, and the team needs to win games. This needs to be a very good team. I don't care about empty stats. If we win 6 or 7 games, I can't justify extending Saquon off that year, because then you're paying a running back. It's tying up your cap space. He's got to prove that it elevates this team when given a fair opportunity. And this year, I think he's getting a fair opportunity. And I want to keep him. Saquon's my favorite player. I'm not rushing to get him out the door, but he's got to justify it. Nick, man, thank you very much. Gettleman seems to work closely with the coaches to build on the roster. It's looked much better now with Judge and Graham compared to Shermer and Betcher. Yeah, and that's the other thing. You know, everybody thinks it's just Judge. He worked with the coaches when we had, like you said, Betcher and Shermer. You don't think the coaches had input? Look at all the players we brought in that formerly played in the Betcher scheme. So I think it's the same situation we had before. In terms of Gettleman's responsibilities. Gettleman brought in players. Look at all the former Cardinals. Everybody used to call us the New York Cardinals. Well, now they're bringing in players that Judge feels like he can get the most out of. So I think he takes coaches' input. I think he's always taking coaches' input. And the major difference to me is the fact that he has better coaches. When you have better coaches, the players that you bring in are going to perform better. It's just common sense. And Raphael, man, thank you very much. He says, if we make the playoffs, I don't fear any team. Let's make the playoffs first, my man. Let's make the playoffs first, my man. Check Pat Regazzo. I'll check it. I'll check it right now. No, I got one more I got to catch up on. And Les, thank you very much. If Reese wasn't utter trash, Eli would have to. Yeah, you're probably right, man. That offensive line completely fell apart the second half of his career. But let me check Pat Regazzo. And if Odell Beckham didn't shoot himself, he'd have 3 rings. Let's check Pat Regazzo real quick. So Pat Regazzo, he only has 319 followers. These tweets are protected. I guess because I don't follow him, I can't watch. I don't know if that's the Pat Regazzo, but this guy only has. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong guy. If I'm looking at the right guy, he only has 319 followers, and I can't see his tweets, probably because I don't follow him. His tweets are protected. So, Scotty Booms. What's going on there, Scotty Booms, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. And here's what I'm going to say, guys. Going forward, if you're going to ask me to look at somebody's Twitter profile, make sure they got more than like 300 followers. Scotty Boom says, how about David G's offseason? Giants are coming for my Washington football team's division crown. Love Scotty, man. And by the way, if you have not checked out Scotty's channel, Authentic in the Beard, they do a fantastic podcast. And if you're a subscriber of mine, you've probably checked them out. I'm sure I have a lot more new subscribers during free agency. Check them out, man. Those guys have a great channel. Scotty's a great guy. Are the Giants in position to take best player available after their free agency haul? I think they are. I think the fact that you got Galladay, I think it opens up. And if we get the corner today, I think it opens up the possibility for the Giants to take who they feel is the best available player on the board. But they may very well go offensive line. I think it's still a big need for this team. But yes, I think I would not be against them taking BPA at this point in time. And that may be another wide receiver if that's what they decide to do. But yes, I think by getting Galladay, it opened up all the options in the draft. And Les, man, thank you very much. I give Dave Gettleman a B since he took over. We are better. Yeah. I broke it down on a per year basis. Yeah, I think B's fair. When you factor in Regazzo report. All right, let me take a quick look at Regazzo report. Maybe I'm not spelling it right. Let me see what you guys are saying. At RAGAAZO. Hold on one second, guys. RAGAZO, was it? I don't know. Just tell me what he said, man, guys, because I had a live stream. I can't keep stumbling looking for it. Mikey, man, thank you very much. If we get Adoree, we should draft Rousseau and the O-line in the second. It's the best move if that happens. I could see us going 10-6. Listen, you guys are starting to sell me on the D end a little bit. It could make sense, especially if you feel like you get a guy like Wyatt Davis. I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against it, Mikey plays. I still think I'm an offensive line, guys, but I wouldn't be against that. As far as the Dave Gettleman getting a B, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. A lot of fans that hate him may not agree with that. I think that's fair. When you factor in the situation he took over, if you were being reasonable, you couldn't have expected them to be good in 2018, 2019. Had they started the rebuild in 18, they should have been good by 20. They made a dumb decision. They didn't start until 19. So let's see how they perform this year. But going into the year, based on the free agency period, based on the moves they made last year, let's see how they do in the draft. But right now, B minus, that's kind of where I am. That's kind of where I am. Quiddy pay. We want a quiddy pay. All right. Guys, let me just, can I even copy it? I don't know. R-A-G-A-Z. When I type that in, nothing comes up. R-A-G. Let me just look at it. I'll do it word for word. R-A-G-A-Z-Z-O. Report. I type that in, nothing comes up. Oh, wait. Somebody just, maybe he blocked me. Maybe the guy blocked me. It says the tweet is unavailable. Maybe he blocked me. Or maybe I've never talked to the guy. Or maybe he might have blocked me. I don't know. Or maybe he deleted the tweet. It says the tweet is unavailable for me. I'll show you what it says for me. And let's see what we got here. Sticky Fingers, thank you very much. Dallas secondary coach, Washington quarterback, Philly everything. Giants offensive guard. If we get AJ, most complete team in the NFC East. Let's go. I was not a fan of their coach last year. I didn't want the Giants to get him. Secondary's a huge concern for them. Washington, obviously the quarterback. Philly, yeah. Giants, yeah, I would agree with that. We have more than these just a guard, but I would agree with that overall. We may be very well maybe the most complete team right now. DJ Swoop, thank you very much. Parsons and a guard or Waddle and a guard. We definitely got to take a guard by the second round. Kendall says, Rousseau scares me at 11. I'd rather go offensive line from USC. You're talking about, what's his name? The Vera Tucker. Kendall says, Rousseau, I already read that. I agree with you, though. I think I'd rather go with the offensive line, man. Let's see. But, guys, what? Oh, it's 5:12 already. I got to close this out. We'll go 3 more minutes, and then I got to close it out. I am going to my friend's house. I said I was going to go to 5. We went to 5:15 instead. I got to leave here by like 5:30, 5:35, 5:40. So I'll go for like another 3 to 5 minutes. Then we're going to close this out. But I want to say thank you to everybody for all the support that you guys have shown throughout this entire week. It's been a crazy that these streams have blown up. It's been a lot of fun covering free agency with you guys. I will have a video up at some point tonight if we do end up signing them. If not, I'll have a video up tomorrow. If we end up signing him tomorrow, and maybe we'll go live if we end up signing him tomorrow. But we'll see. But it's been so much fun doing this with you guys. It's been fantastic, man. My channel's grown. I think somebody said I hit 35K, which is awesome. I think I was like 10 or 12 short before I started the stream. So that's awesome. All the new subscribers, I appreciate it greatly. All the new members, I appreciate it greatly. I can't say thank you enough, guys. Yeah, I hit 35K. So there you go. 35K. Awesome. If Slater is available, take him. Otherwise, trade back. And Pete, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, man. Enjoy your barbecue. I appreciate that, Lloyd. You're the man, Tane. I appreciate it, Brian, man. Thanks. Yeah, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Pat Ragazzo said, like, I can't believe that guy blocked me. Why would he block me? I've never talked to the guy. Pat Ragazzo said that Adoree's agent said they were going to Philly after. Interesting. Okay. Can't wait till tomorrow. All right, my man. I'll see you soon. Hartford, be good, my man. Alexander, be good, my man. Best is yet to come. Sean says that's right. We need a coverage linebacker. Crowder and Downs get burned too much. Yeah, I think that's a need as well that we could try to fulfill. Don't ever apologize, Max. Just sorry I haven't been active. Was driving back to Syracuse. Been listening though, Max. I appreciate you for being here, buddy. Rocco, no, you're the man, Rocco. BX, you be good, my man. Henry, you got it, buddy. Does this mean we're not getting him? No, I think we could get. I think we're gonna get him. Logics, be good, my man. Did you talk about the Broncos? I did not, but briefly, I think that opens up the possibility, if we don't get our corner in free agency, I think that opens up the possibility of Surtain or Farley falling to us at 11 because they won't be drafting a corner. Let's see. No Knicks tonight. Yeah, no Knicks tonight. No Knicks tonight, Waterfly. I might do the second half if I'm back, but I'm not going to rush back. So if I am back, I'll do the second half, but don't bank on it. But, oh, man, you didn't have to. Dude, thank you so much, man. John Ashman, thank you very much, man. He says, happy 35K. I appreciate that, man. $35 donation for 35. Guys, I am going to head out, man. Thank you again, Jonas. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you to everybody that hit the thumbs up. Thank you to anybody that subscribed. Thank you to anybody that donated. Thank you to anybody that became a member. And live it up, New York Giants fans. We're having a great offseason so far. We still got some more. We still got some other players that we may add to this roster. We still got the draft coming up. And Musa, man, thank you very much. What's up, man? How's your college bracket? I wanted to fill one out. I was so busy with the free agent streams. I didn't even have a chance to do it. So it's doing okay. I haven't lost any games yet. But, guys, you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon. I'm sure I'll have a video up tomorrow, possibly tonight if we make the signing. But you guys be good. We'll talk soon. Have a good night, guys.